fuck off the cart,
turf.
Oh, here we go.
You see that?
What's up? Shout out to Moose. Today we're going to talk about very sexy platinum for men. This is a Victoria's Secret fragrance. I've been talking so much. So it's sort of got that Fahrenheit vibe. This is a great fragrance that's a get up and go kind of fragrance. It's a very invigorating fragrance. I only know a few words to describe fragrances, but this is Victoria's Secret Platinum. And let me share this note breakdown. It's kind of mossy. So it's masculine. And I think most people that smell this will like it. If you like compliment, I don't even want to say panty droppers. I'm ashamed to say panty droppers, but like these are the terms that are being used today. What's up, Moose? How you doing? So, yeah, I don't wear it. It's been sitting in my closet since in my cabinet since 2018. I sprayed it today, and it is what it is. It's not relaxing like my other fragrances, but it is kind of sexy. It is kind of sexy. And let me show you a little bit about it. It's getting a 4.35 out of 5 with 208 votes. I think I paid $75. So it has oak moss, Sichuan pepper, and violet leaf. So it's going for $124.99. This is the 100 ml. And it's just known to be a sexy fragrance, more male. Definitely, it's okay, a good value. Some people are saying it smells like Abercrombie and Fitch for men. It's sort of the same scent profile, to be honest. I blind bought it from a secondhand store and was so excited. It smelled good. First men's fragrance from Victoria's Secret I got, and I liked it so much. It's a 30 ml bottle I got. Really good. It's fierce, but hard to describe how it's kind of better. Yeah, it's a little more masculine. I find it a little more masculine than fierce. But it's very similar to fierce. In terms of compliments, I'm not sure which one will get you more compliments, but this is one of those compliment fragrances that you may really like if you like those kind of, it's an invigorating fragrance. It's a clubbing fragrance. It's a fragrance where a woman will say, "Oh my God, you smell good." And I'll be honest. It's 90% better than all of the other so-called. I can't even show my mouth because I'm so embarrassed. Panty droppers. It's a masculine kind of panty dropper, I guess you say. My face isn't showing. I'm so over it. It's so sexist to say that. It's sort of inappropriate to say it in a way too, but it's like YouTube. People like to say it. It's like, is that what you think of a woman? I mean, it's so disrespectful to women. Honestly, I just think like it's an immature term. It's an immature term. What's up, A to Z? I am glad you are here, man. Some intelligence in the building. And I wanted to thank you, Moose31, because you're the only one in here and you actually liked the video. And I appreciate that. I don't get many likes. I don't ask for money. I'm just here, I was told I'm starting with somebody. I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm starting with somebody. They've been slandering me for an entire year. you know, and I'm messing with somebody. You know, there's bullies in this world, and they don't stop. He's not going to stop from some internet exchange. Are you crazy? He's going to keep going. But it's sort of like he's trying to, I'll just say, look at the banner across the bottom of the screen. He's enjoying a sense of moral superiority. That's all it is. I like, hey, what's up, Mr. Midnight? I don't know who you are, but I like your avatar. You know, I like it a lot. I'm trying to figure out what I should wear, and I'm going to sleep. And honestly, this is going to be it. Arancia de Sicilia by Paris Monte Carlo. And I could never find the. Oh, here it is. Oh, man. So, people say it leans feminine. Let me show it for the camera. I mean, you know how many fragrances I've smelled. It's for somebody with a softer personality, a softer male personality. I think a woman could wear it also, but it's more of a professional scent. Very, very happy scent. It makes you happy. Let me see who's here. Fernando, how you doing, man? Hold on one second. Oh boy. Mm. So what I did, what I did right now is my uncle, he was a dentist. And if you feel a little sore throat coming on, well, he was not just a dentist, he was in charge of the board of dentistry in New York City for many years. But he said you should gargle with peroxide and water. And believe it or not, it works. It really works. And I don't know if it's clean my tongue, but it bubbles on your tongue, right? But peroxide is good if you have a little itchiness in the back of your throat. And so I did that. I was talking with my buddy last night till 3:30 in the morning. You all know who he is. And it's I was talking a lot. So I lost my voice a little. But yeah, this fragrance is very good. I think most people that like those type of fragrances, this is one of the better ones. It's better than any of the trophy fragrances, right? I have some trophy fragrances too. Bubblegum trophy. It's better than that. It's it's something a lot of, I think Mike from I Smell bought it. He smelled it. I told him about it and he bought it and he likes it a lot because he likes those sort of, more romantic, I guess. You're with your wife and she smells you and she says you smell good. Like my sister, this is like my sister's favorite fragrance for her boyfriend. Right. But it's not me anymore. I wore it many years ago. Smells good. It's pretty much what the notes say. Oak moss. It's got the Sichuan pepper and the violet leaf, and it smells masculine. There's nothing feminine about this. What's up, The Rock? We got a couple burners in here. That's okay. Hey, burn away, man. I know people have been spreading lies about me for a long time, and about a school board hearing 23 years ago that have been dug up. It's ridiculous. They're still talking about it. And, it's almost ridiculous how much they talk about it. And I was away from YouTube for like 6 months and then another 3 months. And it's still like a topic. Like it's sort of to hurt me, it's sort of to hurt me. And you got the parrots over there, and that's all they are. They really are parrots without it sort of disgusts me. And now I see what the fragrance community is about. It's all about parroting which are the good fragrances, get those. It's sort of a copycat community. Right. And like as time goes by, I realize it more and more. I will drop the link in case somebody wants to come here to talk. I know Kevin's sleeping. He goes to sleep at midnight. Not to share his bedtime, but I don't think that's a major detail about his life. Right. Sweet Milk sent me a good meme. I'm not going to share it. It was kind of funny though. The mustache is not a good look. What's up, Duncan? How you doing, man? Yeah, it's not like an everyday look. It's a temporary look. That's all it is. It's transition. I could grow a goatee. And somebody mentioned, I hear stories. I don't even know that my hair is dyed. Look, my hair is not dyed. It's not dyed, but it grays in here. There's gray. So when my hair gets long, it grays right here, and all the facial hair is gray. Right. So it's just the way my hair is. But it's kind of weird that somebody would be that infatuated with me, and a guy at that, about like I dye my hair. No, I don't dye my hair. I was just blessed with good genes. Keep the curl. No, dude, the curl just, it's not even like on purpose. It just kind of goes there. I have to gel my hair. Sticks, just saying it sucks, but that may be what you have to do. Yeah. These people don't give up. It's like, I said, Eric, I have to share this with you. He's like, in the beginning, it sounds kind of like serious. And then he goes, but after you read the whole thing, it's like, it's a joke, but that's their whole thing about, only showing what's real bad, but somebody lied that called the school and, said she was an aunt of a student. It's all there. The student, her mom went to the hospital because she was calling her over and over, calling her all these names. And if you don't call the school, I'm gonna have you like have you disappear. Okay, this is from the mom. I'm gonna have you disappear. This is what the mom said, and the brother said it too. So it's just, and it's bullies like bullies. It's bullies like bullies, and there'll always be bullies. And I think I touched a nerve because they're ashamed of being bullies. Like when this guy said my fake dead girlfriend over and over, like when I was really hurting and mourning. That's it's like there's no compassion there, and people like that, you have to watch out for them. They said, "Oh, I keep talking about it." Like you talked about it for a year,
Hey Neil,
and people believe it. Yeah, what's up, Fernando? How you doing?
I'm doing, I'm doing better, man. I have been very sick the last 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I was mostly in bed because I was really, really sick. But I'm feeling better today.
So it's a cough or congestion,
The flu. The,
the flu,
yeah,
and so your body aches.
yeah. I was
Oh man, that's
totally,
the worst.
I was totally in bed. I was in pain, sweating, coughing. With a terrible headache. Yeah, it was terrible, but I'm feeling a lot better right now. So.
It's kind of funny because when I went to Chicago, I my bones were aching really bad. Like, and I was like, I was just like, maybe it's the cold or something. But I came back and I tested positive for COVID-19. And I called everybody up. I didn't call everybody up. I called one guy up to tell the other ones that, but they didn't have it. But like, yeah, the bone aching thing is the worst. I hate that.
Yeah,
That's the worst part.
yeah. By fortune, I test negative on the COVID.
Oh,
So
okay. So you got yourself tested. That's good. So just in
yeah,
case.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's great. I mean, I don't have COVID, but I have the flu, right? So
You know what you have to do? Have some chicken soup delivered to you. I don't know if they have that, like where you are.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Have them deliver some chicken noodle soup or whatever, and like I'll buy like 3 or 4 of them, and then it's delivered hot. But like the other three, I just put them in the refrigerator and then put them in a bowl, then put them in a pot, and just heat them up later, and that seems to work.
yeah, I can do that. I mean, I
They say
have
that's Jewish penicillin. I don't know.
a place here like less than 5 minutes, so they can bring it to me. So
Yeah,
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 but
that
yeah, I
always
mean,
helps me.
I will be basically working from home then the next days because even though I'm feeling better, I don't want to be just propagating this stuff in the office. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that hot salty chicken noodle soup should help a lot. It helps me tremendously. It's just like they say Jewish penicillin. I don't know. I had to bring that up, but it's not really Jewish. It's not really a Jewish food, but it helps. And
so
I think
you were talking
that's
about
the secret formula.
what exactly, Neil? Because I when I joined, you were talking about. Uh, I saw you showing some fragrances, but then you
Oh
changed the
yeah.
topic. So
No, it was just a matter of uh somebody said I was uh talking about somebody in the fragrance community, and like, oh, nobody could battle this guy. He always wins. And you know who it is. I'm not gonna even say. So um, you know, because
oh
because it's like if you can continue a lie like that for a year, keep saying it over and over, and that's kind of crazy,
yep,
you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand that.
And I don't know if you saw the video on EDJ.
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 Oh no, I haven't seen that. Yeah, I know what you're talking, but no, I haven't seen that.
It was kind of crazy. I don't know if it's still up. I'm looking for it right now, but it you know, here I'll show it to you, and you tell me what you think. This was worse than a college project. Trust me. A lot worse. This was something you could actually go to prison for. Tell me if you could hear it. Can you hear it or no?
Yeah, I can hear.
Exhausting, man. It's tiring. I have no desire about it.
And I'm sick of this shit. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of it too. We having a good conversation. You come up here with this bullshit. You do this shit every time you hit the panel, bro. We done
What
with
good
that
conversation was there? Kay was upside down when I tuned into the stream.
Oh,
trying
can
to
you
solve
can you
Gucci
pause it?
throat.
Can you
That's
pause
not
it,
a
Neil?
conversation.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
So you were there.
Yeah, I was there watching just because you end your live stream, and Rocket say that he will join to the to Joey's live stream. So I went there. I mean, I say, well, I will watch. Why not? I mean, I haven't watched Joey for a very long time. Well, let me tell you the truth. I have been, let's say, from time to time
Lurking?
I mean,
You lurking?
no, just watching for a couple of minutes because I like Joey's live streams, but what I don't like is certain people.
Yeah. Everybody says that.
So,
And how he gives them a pass
but
is
that's okay.
disturbing.
I mean, I understand that is his live stream. He will have whoever he wants. So that's fine. That's what I'm not there, right? So
Exactly. And I don't want to be the
But-
topic,
but the thing is that I was there and I was reading some comments in the chat,
Mhm.
and I didn't like it because I mean, I think they were saying something incorrect about Rocket, something that he supposedly said in your live stream, and I was like, what?
Yeah, it's all twisted. Everything is
Yeah,
always
so-
twisted.
So you know what? That's the problem of the lurkers and the people that is listening here and going to the
Yeah,
other live stream
I know.
and
There's
saying
people.
something different.
Yeah, so it's always kind of, sort of like, but it's the message is completely different from the
Yeah,
message
and
that
that's
was
why
intended.
that's what I think that I know that Joey is not watching, but somebody here is watching.
Oh
And
yeah,
then when they go and tell Joey, or when they let's say because they are recording, you know what, right? I mean, there
Yeah.
are people that are recording live streams, so
yeah,
they just take whatever they want to communicate to Joey, and that's the only piece that he listen and that he can see, right? So yeah, that's I mean, that's impossible. I mean, how can you really defend yourself when people is like, editing and just sending whatever they want to show to you, but not the entire stuff, right? So but if you want to go ahead with the video, yeah, go ahead. I
So
mean,
he-
I
he-
already watched this.
Okay, so here's the deal. This guy, I've never met him. I've never talked with him. The Casper the Ghost over there, but he continuously says the P word about me, right? And Joey doesn't stop it. He stopped it now, but this has been going on a year, to get RXL's seal of approval, right? So it bothers me that Joey says it's gossip. It's not gossip. These people, they take this higher morality and with like the story that isn't even true, and they kind of like, oh, this guy. It's almost like they say, oh, I read it. No, you didn't read the whole thing. because obviously, there's allegations, and then,
Oh,
but it's like they keep saying the same thing.
yeah. I mean,
Like an intelligent guy like Eric read the whole thing. I said, Eric,
no, and
you tell
even
me if
and even if you
if you don't want to talk to me anymore, that's fine. He goes,
even
he
if
says,
you
I'm
if you read
surprised you even got like
even
any.
you read the entire thing, I mean,
Yeah.
do they
He
do
said
they
it
ha-
wasn't a
do
good
they have
look.
do they have the knowledge to understand what?
No,
Yeah, that's a problem because
you know.
I really believe that nobody will have the entire knowledge to understand legal terms and all that, right?
Well,
So,
the thing that no, well, I don't think it was very hard to understand, but like they don't understand some parts because they weren't there.
but you know
Like
what?
they don't understand the police report. So if somebody is like, I'm gonna make a police report about you,
That
and then and then the police arrived in 3 minutes and I wasn't even there. It's like it's like they so it's like almost like I feel like this person is continuing the harassment, to maybe get some money out of me or so. It's really disturbing that it's a year has passed and he's obsessed with me. Now, why is he so obsessed with me is beyond me.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, there is something that I heard that I do not agree. I mean that you are trying like to do a comeback and start talking again about this stuff and on blah blah blah. But the reality is that because I was there after this happened to you in Joyce,
Yeah,
I mean, I was there in Joy's channel, and then I have watched, as I told you. I mean, maybe every 2 3 weeks I have seen comments in the chat. I have seen
yeah.
and reading those comments in the panel, and I was like, well, I mean, in one way you're saying that you don't want to talk about anymore, but the people in your chat and sometimes even in the panel, you are talking about that. So
No, because they
what
continue. It's like
what what are you
because
talking about? I mean,
okay, because I gave it a year and I thought everything would die down. But
yeah,
this guy is obsessed.
what I'm trying to tell you is that I mean, this is like, I mean, Neil is trying to do or the people in the panel is trying to do that. No, man. I mean, your people is also doing it. I mean, don't say that. I mean, because that is not
Yeah,
true,
not true.
right? That is
That's
not
not.
true, man.
He
So,
he doesn't know how to put his foot down and say when this guy said, "Why did you let him on the panel? Don't let him on the panel." Like, okay, let me play it a little bit, and so you can hear.
yeah. Go ahead.
What?
That's not a conversation.
What?
That's exactly what I walked into. That's when my first
So
comments
what?
came up on screen.
So what? So
So you're
what?
lying again, Montrese. That's just
What?
that's
And
your
I don't
10th
like
lie
how
tonight.
dismissive
10th lie
that
tonight.
who
You lied
gets.
about
Joey's getting
not
very
being in the
dismissive here.
suburbs, lied about
He-
not having a
And then he's
farm,
like,
lied about
well,
paying
and the
gangster,
other,
lied
the
about
other.
Kay doing
He's
some kind of
always doing
crazy
this
shit when I
other.
first
What
came
about
on
the
the
other?
stream, lied about the
You
good
came up
conversations
That's
here
not
going
the
on
on.
topic.
bullshit.
No good
You
conversations
came up
going
here
on.
on
You're
bullshit.
full of shit,
You
Montrese.
came up here
Full
on
of shit.
bullshit.
As per
And
usual,
I'll
man.
kill your
There
bitch
weren't.
ass, nigga.
No, you
All this
wouldn't.
talking you
No,
doing.
you
I'll
wouldn't.
kill your bitch ass.
No,
Remember,
you
my
wouldn't.
street,
And look at
my
this.
street.
Straight hoe.
These are
You
actual
a straight
threats.
hoe.
Yeah.
Actual
Now,
threats.
now here's the thing. If somebody made a death threat like that on my channel, I'd be like, you're gone. I don't care if it's Fernando Soto or my sister or my mom. You understand what I'm saying? You're gone. It's like you don't come on here making death threats.
Yeah, I know. I was there and I was like, what?
All
Yeah.
that
I
talking
mean,
shit.
You need to
See
grow
me
up.
for real.
You need to
All
grow
that
the fuck
talking
up,
you doing,
Montrese.
bro.
You
See me for
crybaby
real.
bitch. Go
All
back
that
to your
talking
ducks.
you doing.
Go get that
Bitch
bunch of
ass
bread you got in the
nigga.
your own
fridge.
All right, gentlemen.
Untie it.
All right,
Throw it out to the
gentlemen.
ducks.
Let's reel it in one time. Let's reel it
All
in,
that
boys.
talking you doing.
I know
I'll
those are the
kill
only
your
Let's
birds that
reel
relax
it
you,
in.
man. Go get
bitch.
We're gonna
call
slow
your
it
ducks in the
down.
house.
Nothing's not,
Eat
gentlemen.
your own ass, Red Rocket.
Let's reel it in. No, you kick Montrese off and say, I'm not going to allow death threats on my stream. You understand? But he's very biased.
Gentlemen, please, out of
I'm waiting
respect.
Ass nigga.
Out
You
of
in the panel every night on
respect.
some bullshit because you a fucking punk. You a fucking punk.
Now,
Okay, that's
Montrese,
all right. Say he's a
Montrese,
punk.
go
That's
get
you know
nothing.
exactly, Montrese, you know exactly what it is, and you did great
I'm
tonight.
coming. Stop letting this motherfucker hit the panel. You keep letting this motherfucker hit the panel. What the fuck is your problem? Zoe, stop letting this motherfucker hit the panel.
Now he's telling the streamer how to run the stream. You can't let these people on the panel.
Yeah, but
And he's dismissing that this guy just made a death threat.
yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know how someone can lose.
That
control
crazy, yeah.
like
That
that.
like
I mean,
he-
because at the end, it's happening on the internet. I mean,
Yeah.
they are not physically. I mean, in the same place. And even though this is happening in the same place, I mean, you cannot allow someone to take your stability from you. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't understand. I mean, I'm not like that. That's what I'm trying to
No.
tell you.
What I would
Because-
have done is, and maybe Montrese was my best friend, right? I would say, I'm sorry, I have to kick you off. Maybe another day, but you can't come on here making death threats. Not on my channel.
Yeah. That
You know,
that was too much. That was too much.
Because Montrese talks about dark subjects, you know, and it's just like
And you know what is funny, that because I was reading a Rocket comment that I think he's blocked now. So I mean, he's the one receiving the death threats, and the other guy, I suppose, is still there. So yeah, that's well. But at the end, this is Joey's channel. He can do whatever he wants. But
yeah,
it's kind of like.
yeah, but he allows. The thing is, he doesn't run the stream, and I said that to him before. Montrese runs the stream. RXL runs the stream. They make the rules, and you're afraid of them. Oh no, I'm not afraid of them. Right there, somebody. I don't care if it was my mom. Like I don't care if it was my ex-girlfriend, she would never do that. But I'm just saying, hey, you don't do that. I got to take you off. I'm sorry. You don't do that. But he is like, he's like, you know, he's my friend. It's like, and you know, you're upset, and you know, instead of like, no, it's sort of, dude, it's very biased.
Yeah, with the Rocket comment, right? I mean,
So let's go back. Let's go read it, hear it more.
Relax, Montrese. You're scaring the ducks.
All right, well, now listen. Now I'm gonna step in,
Joey,
because Montrese.
listen, Rocket was just joking around with him about the ducks and the farm, and you know, it was entertaining, it was funny, but this guy got so triggered that is this a stable person? Let's be honest here.
Oh, I got you, Montrese. Montrese is genuinely upset.
And I think
don't
the
want
other guy's
anyone
just-
that fucking
just as
upset on
bad.
my stream.
Yeah, he doesn't like people calling out his lies. He's a liar.
Yeah,
That's-
but listen,
not
this
a
ain't
liar.
what-
Annoying and rude as
let
fuck.
me finish
Rocky.
talking,
You need to
guys.
just
Let me
fucking
talk.
leave open
My
your
stream,
line.
let me talk. Montrese is upset. I consider Montrese a friend.
Look at that.
Wow! Oh my god!
With
Oh my
friends like that, who needs enemies?
Wow!
And that is a perfect statement. It's true. You know, your friend doesn't come on your stream and take over and say, you know, who's allowed on and who's not allowed on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
but meanwhile, for an entire year, this guy called me the P word over and over. Nothing happened.
And you know what, Neil, that is not going to change. I mean, I think Joey already proved that, and that is not going to change. I think maybe you are expecting a change. I mean, in his point of view, the way he thinks about the person that you know who, right? So that is not going to happen. I don't think so, right? So yeah, I don't know if I have to tell you that, but I think you need to stop expecting that happening, right? So
Yeah.
because that is not going to change, right? So
I mean, there's sometimes I tune in and it's just like what the hell am I being talked about? Like, why am I being talked about? Why am I being like why am I the issue? Because it's sort of a mob mentality to attack me. It's okay to attack me. And it's like, dude, I'm a person too. I didn't Rocket, the worst offense Rocket did was the worst offense Rocket did is he said, go play with the Ducks, you know? But meanwhile, this guy is slandering me for an entire year. And I didn't get mad and go crazy and this and that. And trust me, if it came down to a actual physical altercation, I would win. But this guy, he thinks he's scary.
yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
hey, I like this guy. What's up, Sao Paulo? How you doing, man?
I think he's on mute.
I remember, dude, I remember the story you said, like, and I was like, dude, I agree. I felt so bad for you. And I was upset when Dan kicked you off.
Are you sure it's him?
I don't know. I like that guy though, because
No, but
he was real. He was real. He told the truth. And
no, I remember. I remember that. I remember him. What I'm asking, I'm asking.
I
Is,
don't know if it's real.
yeah, that.
It
that's
might
what I
be
was-
RXL. But the thing is, yeah, like, dude, let's be honest. How would you react if you're paying child support for 18 years and the woman tells you
yeah.
it really wasn't your kid and you took care of the kid for 18 years? It's like, dude, that's 18 years, that and then all of a sudden, okay, now I'm taking the kids away from you. I don't know, man. This is a complete, change in life. And dude,
Yeah, I remember he was.
he didn't even like the girl.
He was joining dance live streams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And he told that story, and that's how it is. Unless it happens to you, maybe he overreacted, But you're also talking about 18 years
Of
life that and I like to say, no, I'm not going to react like that, but put me in that situation where I just paid a significant part of my paycheck for 18 years, taking care of a kid that wasn't mine, and then hearing it's all a lie, so.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
And I think a lot of people will say, "Oh, I wouldn't react like that," but the truth is, you probably would react like that.
I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the Rocket and Montrese incident.
Okay.
I think Rocket says some things that definitely I think that trigger more than one people in the panel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I kind of think that that was intention, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think I can see that was intention.
Yeah, and that's fine. They've been
Right.
slandering me for an entire year.
But if I was able to see it, I think Montrese was also able to see that was intention. So he could be a little bit more intelligent and just ignore him, right?
Yeah. I would have said, yeah, I play with the ducks all day, and
But
I fed them bread. That's how I would react. I'd be
he
like,
did, he did
but
exactly what Rocket wanted.
he
You know,
can't stay. He can't be anything else. His character is, I'm a tough guy. Don't mess with me.
yeah, that is ridiculous, man. I mean, you are over the internet. What are you expecting? That somebody is going to take a flight to see you face to face just because something that is happening over the internet? Come on, don't be ridiculous, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
come on, grow up,
I would have said,
grow up. I mean,
I was feeding the ducks, and I love ducks, you know. But this guy can't. He can't. He has to be the tough guy.
I mean, seeing it from that point, I think what Rocket did was like he did what he wanted, and he obtained exactly what the reaction he wanted. Right? So that's all I can say about that. I mean, and actually, I mean, I was able to see something that I was not expecting. I mean, that kind of reaction, because you are, I mean, it was very obvious that was the intention, right? So in a situation like that, I will be like, okay, this guy, what he wants is to trigger me, so I'm not gonna give him that, right? So
Yeah. Let's welcome Sao Paulo Sense.
yeah, I'll be on
Hello,
mute.
Sao Paulo Sense. How are you doing today? Hello, Sao Paulo Sense from Brazil, which I know it ain't Sao Paulo Sense. I'm not stupid. This guy thinks I'm stupid. Hello, Sao Paulo Sense. How you doing, man? How's life? It's sort of weird that the people remembered about what his screen name was. Show
Yeah, I
your
remember.
face off screen, Sao Paulo. Turn on your camera. But like, yeah, like there's little self-control, and like you have to like if you live in Miami, you have to have a lot of self-control. You're dealing with traffic, you're dealing with a-holes, you're dealing with a lot of stress. And if you're just going to get out of your car and act crazy, you're not going to make it too long in Miami. You're going to go to jail. You know, you may, Miami police don't play, you know. In the northern cities, they're very kind of liberal, and, you know, Miami doesn't play. Miami doesn't play that. You're going straight to jail. In a Miami jail, Miami prisons are tough, and that's it. You have to. If that's going to trigger him, imagine the stuff that I've been through in life, and I'm upset, but I'm not going to react like that. Your reaction says a lot about you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I mean, I have to recognize that when I was maybe very young, I was reacting like that. But I mean, the years give you experience, right? So, I mean, if you have certain age and you're still reacting like that,
Yeah.
I mean, that tells a lot about you. So,
I mean, I'm not perfect, but I've never made any major mistakes in my life where I actually went to jail. I don't have a criminal record, you know? And you have to think, these people, they believe in the guy with the criminal record is telling the truth. It's like you have a criminal record because you thought you could get away with it. And
that is super ironic. That is super ironic, man. I mean,
you thought you could get away with it, and then you continue to do it, and you know, because you thought you could get away with it. That's his mentality.
Yeah, that is ironic.
And I think I touched a nerve with him. But it's like, dude, I don't want to really touch a nerve with you. But when you bring me up for an entire year, you know, it's like, come on, leave me the hell alone. I don't mess with you. You don't mess with me.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to stop. You know.
No, it's not going to stop until. That's why I said I have to take legal action. Eventually, there's going to be legal action. But it's like, you know, it's like this is.
Yeah, I
He's
understand,
done this-
and we have talked about that before, and I don't think you. I mean, it's my recommendation, right? You don't need to talk about uh, your future steps, right? I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
He's proud of messing with people. He's proud of it. It's like he was.
Can you read? Can you read Rocket's comment?
Because that's the only way he could get attention. Let me see. Good call about Sean Penn Duncan. Start live streaming. Joey woke up to the fact that it's a damning accusation and not rooted in reality. Yeah. I think the whole, dude, I spoke with Joey and he's like, oh, you don't know what Duncan said. I'm like, dude, you know, he's the R word. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Everybody, you know, if I said, I mean, there's a reality to some things, but you're not going to look at everybody as a race as a whole. You're going to look at people person by person. That's it. But it's just like, you know, to look at people as a whole is, you know, that's racist for real. But not everybody's the same. You know, we have so many different personalities. Not everybody feels like that.
No, exactly.
It's like it's idiotic, you know. But I mean, Duncan works in Oakland. He's seen a lot too, you know, and it's dangerous in Oakland, you know, and you know, he's more of a realist from what he sees, you know. But to you know, label him as that is just wrong. It's like he has a wokeness about him. Like who says that somebody can't sing a song with the N-word in it? You know, if a song is out there, everybody could sing it. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't listen to that music. I don't listen to that music at all. I think it's garbage. But like, if I did like it, I'd go along with the words and I'd sing it. Now, if somebody said to me, you can't sing that, you're white. I'm like, dude, I'm just singing a song. It's super like annoying. You can sing, but I don't listen to that crap. It is crap, you know.
But that is the way your culture works.
Yeah.
Because you know, in Mexico we can say those words. I mean, now in the official stuff, like commercials or like in publicity, they are trying to, you know, they like to start removing those kind of words and all that.
I think they should. I think that should even be in the song.
But then in reality, I mean, in the way we Mexicans talk, we use like words that describe you physically to
Well, of course, the color
Yeah,
black
yeah.
is
Yeah,
negro.
exactly. We and,
It-
and
it-
and nobody gets offended, you know.
nobody
Nobody.
gets offended.
No,
Yeah,
we call in, you know,
yeah,
like
I know.
fatty, or and
Yeah,
that you cannot do that in America.
Flacco. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
but in
I know.
yeah, so
Gordo, Flacco.
exactly,
I
exactly.
know, dude. I live around all Hispanics. But,
So
but
when we hear about that, we think, that's kind of ridiculous, you know, because I mean, how is that
it
you
is.
cannot but well, it is what it is. I mean, and sorry if I say that, because I think I don't have the right to judge
Well, it's
a
the
culture
Hispanic
that is
culture. It's the Hispanic culture as a whole.
exactly,
It's
exactly,
just like that's how they describe people. Negro is a color. That's black. Negro.
exactly,
There's
exactly.
nothing. You know.
No, and we also add the, you know, the diminutive, like negrito, right, or gordito, or flaquito, that kind of stuff. And when you say something like that to a person that is black in Mexico, they just laugh, man. I mean, because
Yeah.
they know that you are doing it like. But yeah, here we go.
That's
Yeah,
like Kevin and me. It's like either you could take a joke or you're gonna like say, dude, you are not a color. If you are just a color,
yeah,
like if
no,
I'm just a Jewish man, no, man, come on. I'm a man that likes fun. That's so little. That's so little of me. But to say I'm a black man or a white man. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? We never talked about like this in the 70s. It was just, dude, everybody got along in the 70s. But this is the whole, this whole, it's sort of saying you can't say that because you don't know what it's like to be a black man in America. What kind of garbage is that? It's like, we didn't talk like that in the 70s. Nobody talked about that in the 70s. It's this new woke culture, and Elon Musk talks about it. Like, you don't know what it's like to be a white man. It's like, well, it's you can't speak because you're not that race. The stuff that is going on today is so ridiculous and it's divisive.
hey,
Now there's cultural appropriation. Oh,
Duncan,
if I have braids, I'm cool. But what about somebody that's black that has blonde hair, a blonde wig?
just
That's cultural appropriation too.
just
So
let
it's
me
all cultural appropriation.
let me correct Duncan. He say mayate is a bill, but slang. Well, that word Duncan is also, I mean, like kind of like a way from of a Chicano people, like to say black people, right? So
Carlos, look at A to Z, man. Oh my god, that's ridiculous, man. I think A to Z trolls. I don't know, man. Or maybe he truly believes this crazy stuff. This ain't 19. This ain't 1860, buddy. This is this shit. This girl I talked to from Atlanta, she's like that, and I'm like, you have a big house, a giant house, beautiful house, and then you're talking about this crap. I said, you live a lot better than me, and it's just like it's crazy, man. It's almost
oh
saying
my
like
god,
you can't talk about that. That's what it is. Anybody can talk about anything.
this Burner, Mr. Midnight. What if I was a white cat? Oh my
Oh
god,
shit,
jeez.
dude! It's like either if you're gonna be like that, that's kind of saying I can't get along with all people. That's what
Yeah,
it's saying. Like you have to respect me for my color. You respect a person for their character, not their color. It's so ridiculous,
correct.
and you know, I mean, like the world is crazy, man. And I like how Elon Musk talks about DEI. He's against it because it's a very divisive thing that it's happening in America. You know,
Oh,
it's not like it was. Maybe if there was a mixed couple, maybe in the 1950s, maybe people would stare. People aren't even going to care now. It's like, who cares? Oh, that's a pretty black woman with a white guy, or an attractive black man with. It's like they might look, but they're not thinking, oh, how dare they? Like maybe they're looking and saying, oh, that's a good looking couple, but they put weird shit in their head, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't grow like with racism, right? That is
No, but it's so childish and sort of like the people that say these kind of things, like you can't say that. They're very childish. They're very immature in their thinking. You know, I know Don Lemon said that to. He said to Vivek Ramaswamy. He says you can't speak because you're not black. He goes, I don't even know what you are, whatever you are. Like I was like, what? So you know how disrespectful that was? He's like, well, I forget where he's from. Like from he's Hindu, I think, or no, Indian. So it was just like so disrespectful where he was like, oh, you can't speak because you're not a black man. But here is Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever you are. It's like, do you understand that you're being discriminatory? That, you know, you're being the discriminatory one.
Yeah, you have very good comments, Neil, in the chat.
Let's go over them.
You also have 15 people watching, and in a point you have, I think, 20 or more. So
yeah.
So yeah, funny that
I never look at the numbers. I don't know if there's one person. The numbers could mess you up in the head.
Funny thing is that only 3 or 4 people in the chat, right? But,
yeah, because they're all afraid. They think I'm a P. They think I'm a P. They're like, I can't comment. I can't show my face. It's like you're believing a drug dealer. Advancing technology further and further will destroy the human race and our societies. We need to stop everything and go back to the 1990s tech and never advance it further. And that's how the mainstream media works. They only talk up like they did the Trump thing, but they didn't show the whole quote. But they said, he says, if I don't get elected, there's going to be a what's it called? It's an economic term where, you know, a bloodbath, and they took it out of context. And when they took it, and then Elon Musk took the whole verbiage and put it in context, it wasn't what he was saying. You understand? And so what this guy RXL does is he shows little things, you know, well, not the woman was not credible because she lied and this and that. No, he doesn't show that. So he's very selective. And I find Joey doing that too. Very selective.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, you know, Joey, go in the military. I mean, I'm not your dad, but you need somebody to put you in the right direction. Become a plumber. I could shit,
right.
man.
It's just
I have a lot of jobs with fixing air conditioning. I'm like, I don't even feel like doing it. I've been turning down a lot.
You dissect a document, or if you, let's say, take from a video what you want to, to expose, you can totally change the meaning, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that happen a lot these days.
Yeah, but this is what Joey does too. You're the minority. You're in the minority. And then they said, oh, there were other people that were backstage that heard him say, you're the minority. Well, I don't trust those people, to be honest with you. You know, they're just parrots. I believe what he said is you're in the minority. You know, your opinion is in the minority, but it's always twisted. I don't like that. Nobody, it doesn't, because it doesn't even sound right that somebody would say, you're the minority, your opinion doesn't count. That doesn't even sound like somebody would say that. Like, your opinion is in the minority and it doesn't count. Maybe that sounds like, more. I mean, you can't say your opinion doesn't count, but your opinion is in the minority. I get what he's trying to say. It makes sense. It was just like, when I was told that Duncan is an R, and I was like, and then the whole thing was just on stream. And I'm like, dude, Duncan isn't an R. And I was arguing, oh, you don't know what happens backstage. I'm like, no, he's not an R. Okay. He's not racist. And it was just like, it was just phony baloney bullshit. It's a divide and conquer technique that they have over there and twisting stuff. I don't like it. I didn't like how, I don't like that people label over there. There's a lot of labeling. You know what I mean? A lot of labeling, like, oh, Duncan's a racist. Shut the fuck up. His wife is Asian. Oh, but he doesn't like black people. It's like so stupid. It's so dumb. And it's very manipulative. And they have people there that are bird brains. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Okay, I take that back. But that's how I really feel. But, I mean, if you're going to eat your toes or, like simp for women that are like, come on. Well, let me ask you something. You've gone out on a lot of dates in your life, Fernando. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you go out I've gone out with beautiful women in the past where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm out with this woman. She's so beautiful. But I am not going to tell her she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Am I right on that?
Right.
Because it's like automatically like, so you just like me for my looks?
No, but also if you tell her, she will think I have him on my hand.
Exactly. So, you don't ever tell them that. You maybe say, oh, I like that dress on you. It looks nice. Now, but on the first date, you don't mention anything about the looks. Even the third, I would say even up to the third date, I would never mention a woman's looks. But after a while, oh, you look very nice tonight, but nothing, because then they lose respect for you. And so the women on that stream run it because, but then there's the opposite. There's like one guy, he's saying, oh, she's not attractive. It's like, well, that's wrong too. I mean, she's not attractive. It's like, dude, why does her looks have anything to do with anything? Is that, so you're just looking at them as a piece of A, you know what I'm saying? It's like, they don't have a brain. Their opinion doesn't matter. It's a very misogynist way of thinking.
Yeah, but how did you learn that? I mean, through experience, right? I mean, you learned that, because
I did that one time, and
exactly.
The girl, I was with a woman, and she was absolutely stunning, and I said to her, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful," and she was like in medical school studying to be a doctor, and then I must have said it 5 times, and the next time I called her, she didn't answer. It was like, oh shit, I told her too many things. I told her too many times. It's like, and I never did it again, but I learned that you don't do that. You hold it in. You don't tell a woman how beautiful she is. It's like they're out with you, because they think you like their personality, or they think you like something about them, not their looks, right? Now, if a woman told me I was good looking, I would like it, but women are different creatures.
Yeah, right. Like Rocket say, brainless simping. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's sort of disgusting. It's like I don't think they've ever, like, let's be honest. I don't want to bring up names.
Oh my
some of them,
God.
it seems like they never went out with a woman. It really seems like that, and they actually think they're gonna get a date on a stream. It's like, dude, are you delusional? I think some of them really are. She's not gonna go out with you because you told her she's beautiful 50 times on a stream. AI is a scam. Oh, they're talking about AI. Angry Dad.
Man, I'm
Melancholy.
I'm really afraid of that artificial intelligence thing, especially if they combine it with like the quantum computing. That will be like, oh my God, like
Yeah. What is it called? Quantum computing? That's
yeah,
above my pay grade. Yeah.
yeah, quantum computing. I mean, is like they are trying to use these qubits. Is like they are using quarks, I think, like we are using binary values right now, right? But the difference is that a quark can have different values at the same time, because
Oh, so like we're still using like ones and zeros. You're saying?
yeah. I mean, the current computing, even though we are just creating new CPUs, right? And they are every day faster and faster with more cores, with more
Yeah.
threads and all that. We are still using ones and zeros, right? But the quantum computing is changing that, because you can have 1 and 0 or multiple values at the same time. So
Oh, wow.
that will increase tremendously the computing capacity. So let's say a problem or something that could take years or centuries for a current computing to resolve, maybe could be resolved in minutes or just hours, right? So it's scary when you give that computing capacity to an artificial intelligence.
But like I think if they could use this quantum computing in cars and all the cars are self-driving, I think we'll be a happier society where you can't even drive the car just drives you and it knows and it doesn't make a mistake. You know, I mean, if I'm not against that. Like if no cars were drivable and they were all controlled by a computer, there'd be a lot less accidents. There'd be a lot less road rage, and especially if they coordinate it with the lights and everything. I don't know, man. I think like the traffic situation is out of control, and if the road rage, like say for instance, even like a parking spot, like you'd have to put it in the parking spot you want. And like if a parking lot is full and there's two people and they put it in first, okay, they get the spot. But like here in Aventura Mall, it's packed and there's fights and it's on the news because they actually have fights.
Can you highlight Rocket's comments, because he's commenting about artificial intelligence?
Wait, hold on a minute.
Yeah, the chat is on fire, man. I mean,
oh shit, I like that. That's one thing I have to admit, I really like. when the chat's on fire. If I was her, I would have turned the plane around. The winds were too high, but she pulled off the craziest landing ever. Wait, hold on. And then here's Angry Dan. Plain and simply. The only thing that seems to matter while flying fixed wing is the landing. Most pilots try to sleep while in transit. Yeah, most pilots sleep and land, while the plane's in the air. Wait, hold on. Damn, I got a lot of comments. Nice, man. Nice chat. Talking about me. Wait, it's okay. Okay, AI is a pretty fun tool to work with, but it can't be trusted. It's often wrong. It can't reason or even count properly. Is that the one?
Yeah, and some others. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I said I was a little bit scared because I play a little bit with I don't remember if it was ChatGPT or what it was, but I asked this artificial intelligence to create a song, and the artificial intelligence asked me, well, I mean, do you like something in particular? And I don't remember. I think I mentioned some classical music,
Mhm.
and then it took like some seconds to create something that it was really near to that classical song, and I was like, oh my god! And then this sounds amazing. I like it, and this thing used a song that I like to create something new and different. Or maybe I don't know, maybe the artificial intelligence just select something that like very unknown that nobody knows about, but that has some similarity with the song that I like. But I was really impressed, and I was like, Jesus! I mean, this thing can create things like that. I mean, how other things can artificial intelligence create, right? So, and the other thing that I mean, because I am I don't know because I ask this artificial intelligence. I mean, do you like humans, or how do we know that artificial intelligence is not going against us? And the artificial intelligence answers something like, no, I mean, we are here, we are a tool to improve humanity and blah blah blah. And um and I ask, I mean, how do I know that you are not lying? And the reply was, well, you will never know. And I was like, shit, okay. Yeah, that's the
I
thing, right?
I I I sort of trust computers. I mean, it depends on what, Obviously, they could be hacked. I don't trust computers with voting. I think we need, uh, you know, you have to vote the day of and bring it to a poll or whatever. I don't trust the whole mail-in voting and all that. But the thing is, like for certain things like cars and transportation and making work easier and more efficient, uh, like like a McDonald's or something, and I think security will be in higher demand. Like, could you imagine, like, you just put it in the computer? We all, we used to use in a computer. Okay, I want a hamburger, large fries, Coke, and then it's all cooked by a computer, and so you're not dealing with a person. I I kind of like that. I don't want to deal with certain people anyway, and if I could just get it done and hand it to me, and then I pay, and once it gets approved, it like releases. It releases, so I could take it. That's cool. With restaurants, especially like fast food, and and they'd have to have some sort of security. Obviously, I think security would be in high demand because somebody has to kind of look over everything. because you see all the theft that's going on.
Yeah. You know, I think I understand and a little bit about the why they are trying to, to why scientifics and all those guys are working. I mean, in creating this artificial intelligence and the quantum computing and all that. But but I'm asking myself why they are not working to improve the human, right? I mean, make it better, make it stronger, make it smarter. Why you are investing in a machine when you can invest in a human? I know we have limits, but I mean, with technology, with science, you can improve a
Like the
human.
$6 million man, Steve Austin, right? That's
Well,
what I'm thinking. Right?
much better than that, but yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, you can do something to improve us and to make us last more and to be more to use more our brain capacity and all that.
Yeah, but I think if we last more, I think I don't know. Do you really want to be 100 years old? My mom's 88, but she's very
Oh,
happy.
Jesus.
My mom's 88. She's very happy, but I'm like, if I were her, she's happy as hell. Like you have no idea how happy she is. She's like, "Good morning," and then she's like, like really, really happy. And I'm like, she's 88 years old. She, you
I, I,
know, but I can't understand that. Like I'm already like, oh
are you
shit, man.
reading? Are you reading Rocket's comments?
I'm just gonna get uglier.
That's what I
Older.
like about Rocket. That the guy is intelligent. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see Neuralink is still being worked on. I saw a video with a guy that could control the mouse cursor on a computer with it. It was quadriplegic. Yeah,
He
yeah,
was quadriplegic. Yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. Okay, so I was talking with Rocket during the stream, the other stream, and Laura came on my stream one time, and Laura and me were talking about socialism. We were talking about the Argentinian government, and she was saying it's very poor. Most people don't like socialism, and you know, So now I guess Malay is the new president, and like so when Laura and me spoke, we spoke for probably a half an hour, maybe longer, and it was all political. It wasn't like do the WAP for me or you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like and she I learned a lot about how
You
she
still
makes.
have that conversation? I mean, or do you remove it?
No, I removed a lot of videos,
Oh,
but so um I didn't think it was really significant, but she came on and we spoke about what's going on in that country, and Rocket was saying, why can't they talk about that? Why is it like she has to do the WAP, and why is it like they treat her like a piece of meat? It's sort of degrading. And I think a lot of the women, they leave that stream. It's like fun for a while, but it's like after a while, it's like, okay, they're all being clowned on. It's like he's using it to monetize their
well,
their
Laura is young, right?
yeah.
And I understand he likes to have fun, so I think she's just having fun. But yeah, I can see she can be smart too because I don't remember exactly, but I think she was studying to be a lawyer, something like that, or
Yeah. She's telling to be a
yeah,
lawyer.
yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you have to read a lot. You have to know about laws in your country, right?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they also may take like I don't know political subjects in the college, right? So yeah,
Mhm.
and of course, I mean, if she's living in Argentina, they have suffered this socialism for, I don't know, 60 years or maybe more. I don't know. So
Yeah.
they finally get rid of the socialism in Argentina. So I hope they stay like that. Uh, I think I told you before. I believe in capitalism, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So right. And but as I say, I think as Rocket say, capitalism, but the way it should be, right?
Well, you know, if everything's run by, like, okay, so when I was in Belgium, it was sort of a socialist country. I mean, so uh, everybody sort of earned the same amount of money, but like one of my friend, he owned a clothing store, so he made a little more money, and he would tell me at the end of the year, he would have to burn the extra clothes. He would have to dispose of the extra clothes. I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah. Because in the socialism, they tell you, oh, you just need one pair of shoes. You just need, I don't know, two, three trousers or two, three shirts, and that's it.
Yeah.
But the reality is that when you go and watch how the governors, the president, and the peoples of the chambers, the way they are living, they are living like rich people when everybody else is poor. So it's
Mhm.
just a lie, man. The socialism is a lie. I mean, everybody's poor because they want you to be begging for money, begging for food, begging for everything, right?
Mhm.
And they will tell you that they are going to save you, but that is a complete lie.
Mhm. Mhm.
They just want to keep you in control, right?
Yeah, because the bottom line is every man looks out for himself. You know, like that's just the way it is. Some people are more ethical, some people are less ethical. But everybody's sort of looking out for themselves. Everybody, you know, um, it's it's just the way it is.
Yeah,
And so if you're in government and you have a job in a socialist country, you're going to look out for your family and maybe make sure they make more. I mean, it's just sort of like the Holocaust movies. It's like when it was just like they were all in this house hiding in this little room. It's like one guy ate more. He's like, I couldn't handle it. I needed more food, you know? So, you know, we like to believe everybody could split the food up evenly, but when there's not a lot of food, some people are going to, try and eat more, and they're going to, that's the way it is. To think, okay, we're all a community, we're all going to eat the same. But there are some, I mean, it's hard because some people will always say, well, I'm going to eat more, or they'll sneak a little more for themselves or cut some of yours. That's, I think that's sort of like, especially when they're hungry. Of course, if they're not hungry, it's different. But if someone's real hungry and they're eating, like all they're eating is a fourth of a slice of bread, every day, they're gonna try and eat a whole slice of bread. I think that was Anne Frank, the story of Anne Frank. I'm not sure where I saw that one, but yeah, there was one fat guy. He was like, he goes, I'm heavier. I need more food. It's like, what?
yeah, yeah. Hey, the chat keeps going,
Oh, wow.
and it's just Rocket, Duncan, and Sticks, but man, they are all over the chat.
Bezos at least built the shelter into the side of a mountain. You need elevation with a proper bunker. I kind of feel like they have their bunkers all set up too. It's about Fallout. Yeah, I kind of feel like something's gonna happen. It's kind of funny how people take a side and they're like, "Well, I'm a Democrat. I have to be pro-Ukraine because Putin is bad." It's like, no, the U.S. is extending NATO into onto Russia's doorstep, and they shouldn't do it. It's like, so it's all a matter of looking at it from both sides.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a very difficult situation there, right?
Yeah, I mean,
But
but
how can you? I mean, what can you do if a country wants to adhere to NATO? I mean, what can you do? I mean, they want to be protected by them. What can you do? I mean, even though I know that the
but
idea was,
the thing is, yeah, but it used to be, it was more evenly based, but they don't want to be protected by NATO. NATO is probably paying them more money,
but
and so it's sort of a like, okay, you're dude, everything revolves around money. But the thing is, they used
of
to have
course,
what's called the Warsaw Pact. Russia had the Warsaw Pact, where Russia, Poland, the Eastern Bloc countries all got together, and they were part of the Warsaw Pact. But there's no more Warsaw Pact, and
really,
now, you know,
yeah, I know. I mean,
eh,
everything is controlled. I remember also that. I mean, there was this gas duct that uh, I think that the duct was running through Ukraine all the way to Europe, but the Russians were also paying money to use that duct, and they created their own. But I think someone like sabotaged that duct. So what the Americans don't want is that the Russians have the a way to give or to send the uh, the gas all the way to Europe because they will give power to the Russians. I mean, they will have like something that okay, we have them because the Europeans need our gas, right? So if
yeah,
we
I
have a
thought
way,
that was kind of, yeah, that was a real scumbag move to blow up the Nord Stream pipeline.
the
It
Nord
was
Stream. There
real
you
real scummy.
go. Yeah, I think
And when the U.S. put sanctions on Russia, that was messed up too.
yeah,
Because you're
I remember
punishing the people.
Rocket was talking about this Nord Stream duct and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
uh, maybe you need Rocket in the panel, man.
Rocket, you want to stop by? I think Rocket's trying to stay off the streams. He's like all streamed out. He had that whole big uh exchange. But the thing is, he's trying to break it up because they keep talking trash about me. It's like he's not trying to destroy Joey Stream. He's trying to break up, the trash talkers who are continuously bringing up me, and he's defending me.
Right.
That's what it's all about. He's defending me, and I appreciate he's defending me. But he showed, the thing is, he showed a side of that guy where people are good. They're not even going to question it. They're going to be like, "Oh, we understand you were upset."
But
That's
I
not a
think
responsible person to act that way.
the
And
the, on, the only thing that Rocket proved is that nobody's going to change their minds. I
yeah,
mean,
no, exactly. They're always gonna. They feel like they're a part of something special. They
so
feel like they're a part of, and let them feel like they're a part of something special. But don't trash me. If they want to be part of something special, that's fine. Let them do their silly things. Let them do. and honestly, he had a stream where they were all kind of just having fun, drinking, this and that. I was like, that was a positive stream. It was a very good stream. I think it was called Ladies Night or something like that. I thought it was a very good stream. And I commend him for having a fun stream where nobody's talking about dark subjects. Nobody is, bringing up other people. But it's like, it's like, like,
Yeah, I really hope one day they leave you alone, or
yeah, that's it.
or maybe they. I mean, because I mean, I think RXL can talk about whatever he wants in his channel, but is he doing that? Why
No.
is he with Joey all the time?
Exactly, because he knows I could use that against him in the court of law. He knows I could, and he takes it down. But the thing is, yeah, so he's using Joey as a way to talk shit about me.
Right.
He-
Right. And why is he deleting those live streams? Right?
What's up, Sticks? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Maybe it's not a stick.
Yeah. Yeah, Sticks. How you doing, man? I want to hear your perspective on this whole thing.
Hey,
Just
Neil,
give me a sec. I gotta fix something here.
Okay.
it's late for me, so I think I will
Okay.
go back to bed, man. But
Yeah.
It was a
Thank you
pleasure.
for coming on, Fernando. Hope
Yeah,
you get better.
A
Hope you
pleasure
get
for
better
me
with everything.
to
Yeah.
talk to you as always. So take care, man.
Okay.
And yeah, bye. Take care.
Yeah. Sleep well.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Hey, Sticks. How you doing, man? It's a rarity. I could get you on.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, what I was gonna say is nothing over there is gonna change.
Mhm.
So, like, what I would do is just stop watching the streams.
Mhm.
Like, I stopped watching it because I don't. It's just not for me anymore. It's the people over there aren't my cup of tea. Joey said, if you don't like the streams, don't watch. So I'm not watching it. I have nothing in common with the people there. They're sticking their toes in their mouth, I guess I heard, or whatever. And a bunch of these new IT guys simping over all these women that I would never simp over. And the thing is, if you've noticed a trend, when you bring up this certain person on your streams all the time, what happens is that dude, he ends up making a live stream like a few days later, and he'll start discussing you, like you. It's playing into the bait, and you can't win over there. It's a hive mentality.
Yeah.
And it's funny to watch Rocket try to beat them up, and it obviously works. But the best thing for you is if they don't want to read into it and want to use, like, take things out of context to the point where they're using the P word and stuff, just fucking let it happen. Like, you can't change it, man. It's a high mentality over there. I've noticed that a lot of the new people that are over there, they're not my cup of tea. And the high mentality that's over there, it's basically a bunch of like the newer people, and it's kind of annoying. And it's just Joey's gonna run the streams how he wants, and just if you stop bringing it up all the time, it'll probably slow down a little, and then it'll eventually just get old. I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. I just think it.
No, I know. I know what you're saying. No. But the thing is, I let it. I stayed away from YouTube for like I did it for 6 months and I did it again for 3 months, and it's like,
Yeah.
and it's like, why the hell am I still a subject? Why is this guy? And so sometimes I want to know if they're bringing up my name. It's just like,
Yeah.
because I speak to Eric too. He goes, yeah, I'm just making sure if they, I'll find out if they're mentioning me. You understand? But he doesn't like watching either. He's like very
What's-
disturbed by the whole thing.
It's usually only one person that brings you up, and then just some of the people that I think are just kind of brainless over there, like that just parrot.
Yeah.
They'll crack a few jokes here and there after he brings it up, and I think it eventually just kind of stops. They move on from the subject. It's from what I've seen prior to this whole thing getting blown up again, it was just an occasional comment, a joke here and there, but it's always the parrots. It's nobody that you would respect
Yeah.
is acting that way. You don't have anybody from your past that you would respect are parroting that type of talk. It's just majority of the new people there that you probably wouldn't want in your streams anyways, because you probably think they're idiots.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So it's like, why the fuck do you even care at this point? If you think those people over there that are parroting it are idiots anyways, that's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah. No, like I
Yeah.
said, I'm just like, it's sort of,
it's not fair. It sucks for you, man, but
it was built up inside of me when this guy said my fake dead girlfriend. I was so fucking pissed. Like, I mean, it's stupid, but like, it hurt. I don't know. It hurt when he said that, and that's just what really set me off. Like, fuck you, that really set me off. And he kept saying it over and over and over. And I'm like, dude, just, why do you have to keep saying it over and over? Dude, it was like, it was almost like if he was here, I'd fight him, and he thinks he's such like a badass. In his mind, he's a badass. He can't even fight. He can't even punch the punching bag for more than 30 seconds without getting gassed, but the thing is, he thinks he's so tough. And I'm like, yeah, talk about
RXL?
Yeah. He was talking, he's like my fake dead girlfriend. I'm like, dude, you think you could kick my ass in your mind because you talk tough. You think you could kick my ass.
Did you ever see the Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis fight?
No.
13 inches makes a big difference. Lewis had like 13 inches of extra reach on Tyson.
Yeah.
Fucking RXL's a little midget. He probably couldn't fight anyone your size.
Yeah.
Like, what's his height? He's like 5'8" or something.
He's
like,
not even that. He's
not even that. He's like, and yet he's got the biggest mouth in the world.
Yeah. He's like 5'6". So he showed his whole body, and he was like, he's like overweight. He's got the muscles and arms, this and that, but he's like overweight, and he was like, he's 5'6" or whatever. But it's like he thinks that it's like DB. Come on, you think DB could take me? I'd kick his ass easily. But because he's fucking like 260 pounds. I know this isn't helping.
Well, realistically though, you can't fight anyone. You got heart issues.
Yeah, I have heart issue. I don't want to fight, but I'm just saying.
But if you didn't have heart issues, I would suspect you could probably beat up a lot of people.
Exactly, but it's like, but they think they're so tough, and people are afraid of them. In their mind, it's like it's not reality.
Well, you know what else is not reality is the fact that one of those, like, he's gonna come over and try to pick a fight and fight you. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Like,
or how about Montrese saying he's gonna murder me?
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the thing. This is what I would do if someone really wanted from a fragrance live stream wanted to like fucking come over and beat me up. I would gladly. I'd say, here's my address. Come pay this money to come here and beat me up, and I'm just gonna fucking press charge against you and you'll get thrown in jail. And was it really worth it? It's fucking stupid. Like,
But they're not going to do that anyway. They're probably just going to mail shit to your house, right? Like they'll package
no, that's
up
why
your
I'm
dog
just
shit and
saying,
mail it to you in a box.
hypothetically. Yeah, hypothetically, if they, but you know what I mean. It's just smart men in society don't make threats over petty shit like fragrance community type stuff like that. You don't fucking threat someone's life. You don't say, I'm gonna come and beat you up. Like, guys like that they're not very bright. So
But we're not talking about smart people here. Like, these are the same people that just race bait the whole time. Where if you don't like Montrese or you disagree with him on something, you're a racist, right? And that's how they that's like the lowest argument you could make. When you've given up on any intelligent argument you could possibly make, that's the one that you do make, right?
Usually when people when have like comments like that, like say like, oh, Josh or whatever, you're gay or you know, you're racist. At this, what a smart thing that I do is I play into it. I just say, oh yeah, I am gay or I am whatever, and then they don't know what to say. Like it's just
because they've lost, they've given up on any other intelligent argument or anything else.
Dude, and that's what I'm saying is that's why anytime that supply and demand comes into the chat on your stream, Neil, like fucking, he's always bringing up stuff like, oh, you're racist. It's just like it's just people need to play into it. Just say, oh yeah, I am, because he'll shut the fuck up. Because if you keep denying, they keep bringing it up. Oh, you are. And it's so stupid.
Yeah,
it's so dumb. Like I've had enough of that. Like Joey streams they're so much fun, but things have. It's just things change. Like you said, seasons change and new characters and stuff. And I guess like it's for me everything just with the whole situation with you and then with that guy, and it's just, and then I don't know, man. It's just not the people that were there in the past were people that I would probably like to hang out with in person.
Yeah,
because they seem like they would have my type of personality and stuff, but majority of them aren't really there anymore. And now you have all these people over there that when that person brings up that subject or whatever, they parrot what he's talking about, and those aren't even people that I could ever see myself wanting to be around anyway. So that's like, why the fuck do I even watch it at this point?
Like in real life, I would never like talk to this guy, you know, like I wouldn't talk to him.
Neither would I.
You know, like
I want to, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to say that all the things we're talking about actually hurts the growth of Joey's channel. Like, remember that Chaotic Truth guy that came into Joey's channel a long time ago and introduced himself? I went to his channel recently. He's got over double the subscribers that Joey has, like 8,000. Tons of people actually tune into his streams. I think he had like over 100 people on his stream, and they actually have passionate debates on there. Yeah, and there's like half intelligent people on there. Unlike Joey's stream, it's just a bunch of monkeys throwing shit at each other. You know,
can't say monkeys.
I'm calling them all monkeys. James the monkey too.
No, I'm playing around. It's like,
you know, for a cybersecurity expert, he doesn't seem to have much of a brain. You know, like, because he's also the guy that defaults to racism just because it's like the easiest, laziest thing you could say. It's like, if Chaotic Truth is able to grow his streams, Joey should be able to grow his, and you could see a big difference in the audience, right?
Yeah.
But you got to foster that, and I don't know if Joey can. Like, does Joey even read the news?
Because the thing is, exactly, he doesn't even want to discuss politics. I mean, he's not into that. It's like he's going to run his stream how he wants to, and this is how he wants to run it. It's just the way it's going to be. That's whatever. Cool.
Well, it's self-sabotage then, because he isn't growing the streams the way he's managing it. That's all I'm saying. And he's entitled to do what he wants the way he wants to, but it's not helping him.
But do you really think that he's even trying to grow the streams? Do you think he's just doing this for fun?
Yeah,
I think he's doing it more so just for fun. It's for fun. I just know it because he has that other channel where he's not even using it really. It's for him. He's just having fun with his friends and.
Well, it makes
and
sense when you put
to
it
me,
that
that's
way
all it
because
is.
like those big heavy girls he brings on the stream, like the morbidly obese ones, nobody's entertained by that. Like I know Joey thinks it's funny,
No,
but I really don't
that
think
one
anybody
girl,
else thinks it's funny.
that one big girl, I think she was slower too.
Yeah.
She was slower than Big T. And I kind of like, you understood what I said with Big T. You know, it's like.
Well, I'm not talking about that stuff on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I understand. No, I agree with you. But my name gets thrown out a lot regarding him, and people don't really understand. Like I don't really have any tie. I don't have any ties to him or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they know that I know him. But when it comes to like stuff, I have no control of whether he can be on streams or what he can't do and what he can't. I'm not even associated with him in those aspects. So But no, but he doesn't go over there anymore. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But there's times where it's it was always his choice to be on those streams or whatever. But there was always times too where I didn't agree with what was going on. But then I would just turn off the stream because at the end of the day, it was his choice to be over there. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I understand what you mean. And that, well, the thing is with that bigger chick, she seemed kind of slow, and I don't know.
And yeah, like the thing is, I care, but I don't care. I just want to see, are they going to mention me? If they're going to mention me, I want to see what they're saying about me, instead of being
but the thing is, well, you're not going to be surprised by it because it's going to be the same thing they say every stream.
Same shit.
You know what I mean? It's the same. It's going to be the same shit every day. So I don't.
Yeah.
So I understand. I'm not in your shoes, so I don't fully know how much it bugs you. So I can see why you want to keep watching it, and I know it's going to be hard for you just to take someone's advice to say, dude, maybe your best thing to do is just to not watch it anymore, and then have your streams, but don't even bring it up in your streams, and then it's not going to create this whole like situation where that guy made a stream today where he started talking about you in his own stream again because he saw that you were talking about him on your streams. It's a shit. It's a shitty situation that happened, but there's nothing. It's a hive mindset. You're not going to change anything over there. And like I said, the people that are over there, all the people that you go with and like that over there, they're probably not over there anymore anyways. It's a bunch of people that you probably wouldn't want to be around, and you wouldn't want them in your streams either. So I wouldn't, if I were you, I wouldn't care too much about what some of the people say over there in terms of, but
trust me, a lot of us had this conversation years ago, and like, we're not friends, we're fans. Somebody mentioned that one time. Oh, we're not friends, we're fans. And I was like, okay, but that's kind of what it is. It's like, he'll allow these people to say shit, and not stop it. And, I said, can you please not have them on? And you see, this guy said, how do you allow Rocket on? Like, I make the rules here. How do you allow Rocket to come on? This is my stream. It's almost like he took ownership, right? Do you get that or no? From what was on EDJ, he's like, almost like saying, Joey, you can't, so one time Joey came on my stream, and RXL says, I used to like some guy, but I don't like him anymore because he went on that P stream, you know, but like if somebody would have said that about me, like, you know, I was Joey, I'd be like, you know what? Screw you. You're not coming on my stream because, you know, you're not going to dictate whose stream I could be on. But the truth is, they're afraid. He's afraid of those people. Like, it's like
he's afraid of the lizard people.
Dude, it's weird.
Fucking, I wouldn't be afraid of any of these guys. Like Julian and RXL, a couple low information mouthpieces.
Yeah.
Especially Julian. Like the last time I saw him on stream, he was telling Joey to wrap it up. He's like, it's time to wrap it up. And he's like telling Joey what to do. I'm like, this is Joey's stream, you idiot. And he talks more than Joey does. If you just tuned into the stream, you would never know that it was Joey's stream. You would assume that it's Julian when Julian's talking. Like the guy is delusional too. Like he even told Kay at one point that that she's talked too much tonight and that she should let other people talk. And everyone in the chat was just attacking him. They're like, you're an idiot, Julian. You're the one that talks the most here. Like, you haven't shut up for 5 seconds straight yet. Like, the guy, I don't know. Yeah, Rick is much the same way.
It's weird how the psychology works. How you can, like, not you, Rock, but I mean, in general, like, population, like, how they can, like, change people's perspectives on someone, like, in an instant. And like, a whole hive mindset just...
Yeah.
changes. They went from one thing and now they're like, oh, he's bad, or it's just crazy. It was the same thing with vaccinations versus unvaxxed.
Yeah.
How the media, like, they turned normal people into like brainwashed and they would like just start attacking.
Yeah.
Well, that's what
attacking people without masks. Yeah.
When I say to Neil, that's what I mean by, like, these people don't stand for anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they had a true North Star in their life that was guiding them, they wouldn't have to be wishy-washy on issues. They would say, I don't like Julian because of this. And no matter what Julian says or does, they wouldn't like him, right? But their perception has changed so easily because they got this groupthink thing going on. And, that's a very dangerous thing. That's how you have disasters like mass suicides and cults, war, Holocaust, that's the most dangerous shit. Like those type of people are the most dangerous people on the planet because you get them together in a group and they're capable of terrible fucking things.
Yeah.
And then there's a serious, I don't know why it's like that. Why there's a huge subset of the population that thinks this way, but it's a problem. And I don't know if the education system is to blame or what, but like, I have my guiding stars in life. I know where I'm going. I know what I like. I know what I look into, and I don't control how people make me perceive things. Yes, I mean, I don't let other people control how I perceive things. I run it through my own filter. Yeah.
Social media kind of created a hive mentality because everybody wants to fit in with each other, Well,
it also gives you an echo chamber of the feedback loop too, right? Yeah. So there's that too.
When the protests happened, and I was like, I said to somebody, George Floyd, I guess he pistol whipped a pregnant woman, right? Or he punched her in the stomach or something. I think he pistol whipped her when he robbed her. And it's like, how dare you bring that up? Like, because it's like, he's a good man. He, the cop is the bad man. And it's just like, this is how they think. And it's just like the opposite of reality. It's
and that all happened during lockdowns too. Like, if you're in a lockdown city, you'd get arrested for being outside. But if you're protesting Black Lives Matter, then it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was the craziest stuff. But the craziest stuff happened during COVID. Like, everything was wild. You'd walk into a restaurant, you'd have to be wearing a mask. Once you sit down, you could take it off because the virus, once you sit down, it disappears.
Dude,
right?
I didn't go out during COVID. I went with Aaron. We went to Flanagan's, like in Coral Gables. And I went to the bathroom without my mask. And the waitress screamed at me, put on your mask. When you walk, you have to put on your mask. And I was like, this is so stupid. And then when
Yeah,
I got
because
back
when you
to
stand up, the virus is active again, but when you sit down, it's inactive, right? Like the stupidest shit was going on during
dude,
COVID.
it was just
Dude.
like it was so exactly. It's like they wanted people to conform to their way.
I remember during COVID when I'd have to go to a restaurant and stuff, and they would be like, "Oh, we have to wait to see everybody because we need certain spacing." But what they would do, they would have us packed in the waiting area as sardines, like shoulder to shoulder in just huge groups, while they're trying to make sure that when you're seated that you're perfectly spaced. Everything was just so contradictory. Just
Yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah.
but good times. Good times though.
Good times.
Nah, not really. No, it was an interesting time. I mean, you got very interesting things happened.
People still wear
Kind of
masks in
nostalgic.
Miami.
The only nostalgic thing that I remember from COVID was fuck, what was that guy's name? The documentary of the alligator man.
Oh, Steve Irwin?
No.
Alligator Man.
Joe
Yeah, I don't know who
Exotic. The documentary.
Oh, Joe
the
Exotic. Yeah, I remember that.
That's like the only good thing to come out of the pandemic was Joe Exotic.
Tiger King.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tiger
yeah.
King, because that was on Netflix when everybody was like locked down, and that's only a good thing that came out of it.
Crazy times though.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Chris, he came down to Miami. He was from one of these northern states, I don't know, Ohio or something. And he was like, "Oh my God, I love this. This freedom is awesome." Like nobody's wearing a mask. And he's like, "I'm moving down here." And he moved down here like a month later.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because he's like, yeah, he says, "Man, where I'm from," like he says, if you go and talk to somebody and ask them how a cologne smells, they look at you funny, like they want to fight you. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, there's some mental people even where I live. But you know who had it the worst? People in Australia, man. Like the cops turned into like a brutal regime down there. They were beating up women and stuff for being outside without a mask on.
Dude,
Yeah, like just totally irrational shit.
I really enjoyed watching the live streams of the riots down there.
Oh, I never watched
It
them.
was just crazy. You never watched? Okay, yeah.
I paid attention to some of the news though. Like I used to watch Rebel News with Avi Yamini, and there was another guy that was popular in Australia too that had his own YouTube channel, and I'd watch their channels, but I don't remember too many protests.
It happened in Europe too. You just see like live streams of protests and in France too, and like if you were like a pro cop type person, like you could quickly turn into like being anti cop after watching how they treated the civilians, just for protesting that they're having their rights taken away. They're just beating the shit out of them, and it was kind of sad.
Well, cops are, I think, in my eyes, cops are a lot like politicians. I think the majority of people that are attracted to a job like that are seeking to have power over others, right? But whereas a cop, gets to maintain his privacy, he gets to go home at the end of the day and not have his name on the front of the newspaper the next day. Politicians are more sociopathic in the sense that they're willing to take on power and lose that privacy to do it. Right? I think most people want to guard their privacy, but politicians, they have this desire to possibly be known by everybody and lose all their privacy and potentially lose all their dignity in the process. It's kind of weird. But there was this documentary on YouTube I watched about the subject where this guy basically went on to say that most of these people in politics are just completely sociopathic. Like regardless of whether they're on the left or on the right, they're not like normal human beings. They're just power hungry, right? And
well, they have to be. I mean, if you could be Nancy Pelosi's age and still want to be in politics instead of just being happily retired and just enjoying your last remaining years of life.
Yeah, and she's
not
rich
having
too.
to go to. Yeah, and that's when you know that either they're sociopaths or they're like blackmailed into doing their job still and doing all this stuff. To I don't know. It's weird.
Well, there's a lot of that blackmail stuff too, right? Another separate documentary I saw, this one guy made the allegation that the Democrats are known for being into little girls, i.e. like Bill Clinton, and the Republicans are known to be into little boys. And they blackmail these people. Like even Joe Biden, like he's not there. He's not running the country. So like why does he put himself through that? Poor man just wants to sit at home and eat ice cream.
He does eat a lot of ice cream, doesn't he?
Yeah, like he doesn't want to run the country or do anything.
No,
like,
I think he's forced to run.
I think he's black. He's got to be blackmailed. There's no other. I can't think of anything else.
That's what I'm thinking. He doesn't want to run.
What's kind of sad is knowing that you could just tell he's not running the country. But when I talked to him, like my sister, she went to school in college for like 8 years, and she's like a lawyer and stuff, and her husband is like some kind of like political activist in terms of, not like an activist, but like he works with politicians for like campaigning, like marketing, like their advertisements and stuff. And my sister, like, we discussed something one day, and she was like talking about how Joe Biden has done some good things, and I don't want to start issues with her, so I just kind of go along with it. But in my mind, I'm like, you went to college for all those years, and your mind still makes you think that Joe Biden is actually in charge and running things. The education system it really, I think it really brainwashes people, because what the hell is that noise?
Sorry. I have a massager on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, the brain isn't fully developed till you're hit the age of 25. So these kids are going to college at the young ages of 18, and they look at their professors as like someone to look up to, and that everything they say to them is the correct way. So that's how they get brainwashed into this mentality of all the stuff that they're being taught. It's really, and that's probably what happened to her. She just goes into college at a young age. You're young, and you grow up and you listen to your parents, and then you turn 18, and then the next people you go and listen to are like your teachers, who, when they were younger, the teachers, they were being brainwashed too when they were young at the age of 18 by their professors. It's like a never-ending cycle of just it. Yeah, it's weird, because I went to the college after I got out of the army at the age of like 23, and I didn't pay attention to any politics or anything. I didn't know if I was Republican or Democrat, but I would go to these classes and we'd be being taught this stuff, and I was like, what the hell is, it was really crazy, man.
Yeah, when I went to college, it was just basic. There was no political angle. It was just like, we don't care about people or anything. We're just going to teach you the concepts, and you have to apply them, and that's it. It was like, but
now
now
it should be.
Yeah, I feel honored.
Cycle.
Yeah, now everything is emotional, and some people are a privileged class, and some people. It's weird, man.
If you control the education system, you control the people.
Yeah.
So I think the globalists figured that out, because look at how many people they've churned out of there that end up being Democrats and left leaning.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, like, it doesn't matter what your party does wrong; they just ignore it and keep voting that way. Like at least the ones that don't swing vote, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you look at World War II, like, how in Germany they were indoctrinating the youth, and then he was saying to strengthen their country or whatever is basically just like the education, teaching the kids at young ages, and it's kind of what happens here.
Yeah, you propagandize them.
Yeah, I know, and yeah.
But some of these policies, like Biden, for instance, this is where I think that he followed Trump's policy with China, and I think he should reverse that policy. Only because things have changed in China. Their economy is collapsing. You don't want to alienate or isolate these people. It could make them turn aggressive. Just because that's what America did to Japan during, like, before World War II. I think they cut off all the oil shipments to Japan, and Japan was dependent on American oil at the time, and it devastated the country. And that's why they bombed Pearl Harbor and acted out in that fashion. And you don't want to poke these people in the eye, you know. Also, another mistake that like during Trump's administration, China was doing good economically, like their housing market hadn't collapsed, right? But I think things have changed. They should reverse course there. And I'm not saying don't reshore everything at home. Like clearly a lot of stuff has to be brought back home. But they shouldn't be so aggressive against China. They shouldn't be banning TikTok. And they shouldn't be doing what they're doing with Russia either. They're starting to have these really aggressive policies towards countries you don't want to fuck with. You know?
Yeah.
China's got over 1 billion people. Russia's got 140 million. America could not win a war against the Taliban. And don't take this offensively, guys. America couldn't beat the Taliban in Afghanistan. These guys were armed with AK-47s, a couple goats, some naan bread, and onions. That's all these people had.
You say the
and
same
they couldn't
thing.
beat them.
Naan bread.
Yeah.
I'm not, dude. I was over there. I'm not offended at all.
That's a.
Oh, you were in
serious problem.
Afghanistan? Holy shit!
No, I was in Iraq. I was in Iraq.
Okay.
Same type of people.
That's
same
a serious problem because the second America pulled out of there, the Taliban were taking over already again, and also Canada was in that war, and we turned our backs on our translators and stuff that helped us. We didn't bring them back to Canada. We should have brought them all back. Anybody that wanted to come back that helped us should have had a green card to come back.
Same thing happened in the 80s with Russia too.
It's Russia lost against Afghanistan too.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't assume that America could win any war against, Russia or China.
No, dude, we can't win. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I was in the army, right? We had high standards. 5 mile, like my unit, we were a long range surveillance. I don't know if you're familiar with the Vietnam War, like LRPs.
Nope.
Long range surveillance patrol. Well, it's a unit. It's a unit where it's teams of 6 guys, and basically what it is it's highly trained guys. Your team leaders go to Ranger school, and so we had really high standards. We had 5-mile runs. We had to do way more push-ups than what is asked for in the PT test and stuff. But in 2011 and around that time frame, things started to change, and then they started to lower the standards.
Yeah.
And everything just got so weak, and me and some friends, we decided to get out, because they were having us, instead of like focusing on real life situations, doing our jobs, going out for training and doing room clearing drills, spending time on the range. We were having to spend more time doing like sexual assault briefings and stuff because everything started to shift.
Yep.
And what's happening now is they kept lowering the standard, and what happened is a bunch of fat bodies got in. We called them fat bodies. And they couldn't keep up, and what's happening now is the military, the way they're trying to like get people to join is they have these weak advertisements. Like, remember like back in the day they used to have the Few, the Proud, the Marines, how awesome those commercials were.
And
well,
Army of One, be all that you can be.
Yeah, they have like these very woke military commercials, and it's like, I'm not trying to be sexist, but I'm like, when you come to recruiting, they want men. They want a lot of men. You're not going to motivate these white men, college boys or whatever, to come want to join the military when you're advertising it, a bunch of like females running, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And they can't meet the numbers. They're lowering the standards. You would be surprised how many overweight people are actually in the military at this point. It's really astounding. And I always tell people that if you had a ground fight of Russian troops and a ground fight of American troops, the Russian troops would wallop us.
Duncan, you're
Looks like he's outside.
I'm Hold on, I'll just turn off my.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he's okay.
But yeah, it would be bad. And hey, you know what? At the same time, too, a lot of people like myself and younger kids, they're seeing the type of wars that we're going to fight, and they're like, even they question like, what is the point of it? Like, the last war that seemed like it had any meaning was World War II.
Yeah.
And you know, when people thank me for fighting for their freedom, I say, I'm just like, well, you're welcome or whatever. But at the end of the day, I wish they would quit saying it, because the Iraqi people were never a threat to the American way of life. It was all corporate interest. And what pisses me off is that
they were the first country to rebel against the dollar. Saddam Hussein wanted to go on
Yeah.
a gold standard. That's why they went in to kill them all.
But the
Take
thing
out
is,
the government.
they change, they warp it around to say like the Iraqi people are bad, and the American civilians, they don't recognize that, and it pisses me off when I'm driving
Look,
down the road.
I'm gonna kick you until you fix your mic, or just mute your mic, because Sticks is having a good conversation here.
Or what pisses me off is someone like me that deployed and did stuff, and you know, we're in an infantry group, and so we were actually down in, if you're familiar with the Bible, like the marshlands, kind of their Iraq and Iranian border, the Hawazi marshes and stuff like that. They claim that was like the Garden of Eden in the Bible or whatever. That's where we were doing stuff around that area, and but what I'm saying is, like, we did a lot of stuff, and what pisses me off is the type of veterans that have to like put their bumper sticker on their car saying veteran and all that stuff, because the ones that served in like Iraq and stuff, because like, bro, you just humble yourself and realize that you fought a war for corporate interest. You're nothing but a fucking stooge. You know, it's just stupid, man.
Project for the New American Century. There's
Often I've wondered, would America be a lot richer though if they didn't fight all these foreign wars? Like, maybe just lower everybody's taxes and pull back all these military bases you have all around the world. It might actually improve society a bit.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, but
Yeah,
you
I
should
don't
be.
know, man.
And by the way, though, you should be able to get some sort of disability if you served in Iraq, no doubt. You know.
No, I'm pretty healthy, but like I said, I have hearing loss, but I filed too late, and like you said, I can appeal it. And I just said when I could appeal it, I just didn't, because I'm like, it'd only be 10%, but it'd still be free healthcare. But no, I'll just like, whatever. Maybe I'll try it again, but
Yeah, try it again. I tried.
But yeah,
I had
man.
to try like 3 times.
But
the
I
first
mean,
couple
yeah,
times I was rejected, and then I did it a 3rd time, and I got approved, because I guess I put my my heart surgery stuff in there. Like, I had to show the documents that I had the heart surgery and everything, and then they approved me.
Yeah, but to Rocket's point, to finish what I was saying is, it's just we couldn't win a war if it was just if you just looked at the troops that we have to offer, man. It's pretty pathetic. So it's not like it was.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I know, man.
But I don't want anyone fighting any wars anyway, so like,
the only war that there is to fight right now is Montrese and his computer yelling at his computer over you.
Man, I kind of felt bad afterwards.
Yeah,
because I realized, like, I pushed him to the brink, man. The guy completely lost his mind.
You felt bad?
Yeah, I felt a little bit bad. Like, I went beyond teasing to the point where the guy lost his fucking brain. You know,
but yeah, that's low impulse control, man. He has to be able to control himself. That's like what I'm saying. In Miami, you deal with crazy people. You have to be able to control yourself.
That's true. Yeah. It's part of living in a society, right?
And saying that he's playing with ducks. Come on, if he's gonna get triggered by that,
Yeah, you know what's funny is I called him a liar, and all he did was
he's
lie
gonna
about
end,
his lies.
he's going to
Because he
end
never
up in
said he lived
jail.
on a farm or not, and I said he lived on a farm,
Yeah,
and that he lied about
I
it.
got the whole thing because it was like the whole ghetto thing. But yeah, I got the whole message there. But in life, if you're going to act like that and act irrationally, you're going to end up in jail.
Well, he pissed me off because he said my orange square is Nickelodeon, and then he called me racist and stuff, and I was like, "That's it. This guy's going down."
It's kind
And I
of
think
funny. That is
think
kind of funny.
I think I pissed off Julian too, because like Julian today, I was looking at the chat. I couldn't talk because Joey Stills me banned, but I was looking at the chat, and Julian goes, "Yeah, Rocket said that I was a lizard person about 100 times in 1 hour." In the chat. I think it's getting under his skin because I was calling him a snakehead, and I said he was drooling on his hands and he's disgusting and an abomination.
But
I think
let me tell you,
it eventually gets to them, right? They read it enough, they get mad.
Montrese needs to take care of that. If he has to see somebody, he has to see somebody, get some psychological help or whatever, because if he's going to react like that in real life and does something crazy, like if I were like that, I would get psychological help. I'm just saying right now, if I acted like that, I would get psychological help, maybe some sort of medication for anxiety or something. I don't know. It's not a put down. It's just like, shit, man, I need to, get a check on myself and see why I can't control myself.
It's also the internet too, right? Like you can actually turn it off. You don't have to sit and take abuse from people. Like I guess in my case, he couldn't block me because I guess he doesn't control the stream, but that's an unfortunate part too. Maybe he should be able to block me. StreamYard maybe should give you an option where you can click on someone's name and block them. But yeah, man, he completely went unhinged.
It's just first world problems. It's just kind of silly to me.
Yeah, you've been in a war, so it's like, first world.
Yeah,
problem.
I know. Yeah, I know. And that is a corporate war. I always get that point across.
Corporate.
I'm no hero. Okay, I'm no hero. But when you've been in situations like that, and then you look at people that act like that, and the stuff that's going on with you, Neil, you just kind of just.
Yeah, it's like watered down.
It's ridiculous, and
it's ridiculous. Yeah,
and that's why I'm not, like I said, the people that are over there now aren't the same cup of tea, or they're not the same type of people that I honestly don't fit in there anymore anyways, because I just pick fights all the time with the people that I think are dumb. So so why do I even watch? And the thing is, like, for you, when he brings up stuff, whatever, it's always, I'm telling you right now, what I've seen, it's always just the people that you probably wouldn't like anyways that parrot it. It's no one else. Like, Captain doesn't. I made that joke. I poked at him a little bit because he Captain, I think, takes the stream super serious sometimes too, about the whole loyalty talk and stuff. And so I was sarcastic when I made the comment about how he has no balls, and how he didn't basically tell that person to just shut up and you're taking things too far, because he was a cop, so you think that maybe he would be kind of had that same mentality of like, okay, yeah, like it said that in the reports, but when you throw the P word out, that's taken a little far, but he never said anything, and
he stays out of it.
He stays out of it, but
sometimes I feel like, okay, it's not his streams, but he should be the adult in the room and say, hey, we should not be mentioning that. This is, he should kind of reprimand Joey. I would reprimand Joey. It's like, dude, that's not right what you're doing. It's just like, and he just, that's it.
Yeah. But it's in the majority of the people, like they stay out of it too. It's just a few people that parrot it.
I like Captain,
and it's the people that parrot are the ones that Rocket just picks on, and he picked on Montrese to the point that Montrese had an epic spaz out, And
you see, this is the thing: the people that talk shit, they're the most sensitive. That's I've learned that through life. The ones like Montrese or RXL, they're the most sensitive. You know,
I think Montrese was even crying, man.
and trust me, RXL is very sensitive too. Trust me, he puts on this big.
Oh yeah, I called him a midget enough times. I can tell it bothers him. Every
Yeah.
time I say it to him, I can tell it gets under his skin.
Yeah.
He's sensitive about that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I wouldn't associate with RXL in real life, anyways. Like, I
Exactly.
to me, you know, his past, like, the way he acts and stuff. Like,
Is
if
it in
you're
his past,
45
or is
years
he
old,
still drug dealing today? What does he do for work?
I don't know, man.
This is
I'm not
the
gonna
thing.
talk about
Nobody,
that, but
everybody knows what I've done, right?
Nobody knows what RXL did except for drug dealing.
Exactly.
But
And Joey, what's Joey do? You know, so it's like, so you're gonna criticize my mistakes, and I made mistakes at my job, and you know, it was kind of a lot, you know, to start teaching at 25 and thinking it would be like easy, but the kids are crazy, and it's just like it's not easy. And then, you know.
Yeah,
but I'm like, yeah, well, at least I fucking tried, you know? And it's like, but, you know, you didn't even try. You're just like, you know, not even trying. You're not, you know, that's it. You try to do the best you can. And, you know, and
out of curiosity, who is Sins of the Fodder? Like, who's the guy that posted the video from that stream with Montrese?
I would say
I thought it was Joey.
No, I think I was thinking it was Sweet Milk.
No, because Sweet Milk made his video after, like 12
Are you
hours
talking
later.
about the video? Are you talking about with the one where he's hitting the wall with a sledgehammer?
That's Sweet Milk's video, the short little like 16-second clip. But he uploaded that like 12 hours after, and people were tagging him in the Sins of the Fodder video. See, I just assumed Sins of the Fodder is barely posted on Reddit. Like, if you look at his account history, he's got 8 comments in it. Right?
Sweet Milk is funny. So he's been sending me.
Yeah.
So he was sending me some memes about Montrese. He was, and he's like, you know, like, what, should I post it or what? Like, it's like, bro, join us for karaoke night. like all the things he was, you know, it was funny, the little memes he was sending me. But I'm like, yeah, you know.
But yeah, man, I think Neil, it's just this shit bugs you. But I mean, you have to look at who's parroting, who's repeating what he's talking about. You have no respect for him, and then the parrots that just repeat what he says, I don't even have respect for them, because they're the reason I have issues over there, because I think they're all idiots. Like, I think that those people, I never got along with them, and that's, I'm not gonna name off the names, but I've always, like, I'd be in there all the time back in the day, and everybody in the chat was awesome, and I would never stir up any issues. But the people that parrot all this stuff, they're the people that I have issues with, because they're just dumb and they're annoying, and so I think it's just like, why do you even care that they parrot what he says? If you wouldn't want to be associated with those people anyways in real life, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like you can do what you want, man, but it bugs you. I could tell it bugs you, but
yeah.
Look how mad some of these people get when I even like say that Emma Leviathan is demonic. They just hate me for it. You know,
she on her own page, she self-described succubus.
Exactly.
And sex workers is a bad profession. You're right, Rocket. It is.
It's not healthy for women. I don't know why people promote it. It's you know, it's almost like once a month I see there's some new porn star that committed suicide or attempted suicide on Twitter. I'm scrolling Twitter. The last one is Cagney Lynn Carter, I think her name was. Let me just double check. And she just committed. She's dead. She was like 29 or 30 years old. And then in the same post, somebody else said, "Oh, and that was like 1 month after such and such other person did it too."
It's sad. I mean, if you think about this, if you had kids, wouldn't you feel bad knowing that how exposed they are to sexual images on the internet at such a young age, and how easy it is to find them and stuff, compared to like how we grew up. I'm assuming you're probably the same age as me. So, and think about like 20 years from now, what percentage of women will actually be working like on websites that are like have like OnlyFans and stuff?
None, because there's going to be so much AI. There's so many fake ones out there that are just AI now, that have
You
like
think that's going to be
prominent
the
social media accounts. Oh yeah, there's really no career here for the future for these women, especially because they get older over time, right?
No, I didn't mean like a career. I just meant like side money.
Yeah, but I mean they get old, right? Like at some point they turn 60, and like their viewer base goes from say 1,000 people down to like one person, one weird guy that's into 60-year-old worked out porn stars,
Yeah. Well, I mean like down the road though, like 20 years from now, and then 30 years from now, you're always going to keep having those, 20-year-olds to 25. It's that the percentage of that population of the 18 to 27-year-olds that might have an OnlyFans for side money. That, don't you think that's going to it's going to increase in numbers more and more and more? Like that's, to me,
no, because I'm pretty sure the AI will run them out.
Okay, maybe.
Because there are very prominent social media accounts that are just completely AI, and they have tons of followers, like on Instagram and stuff. And that'll only happen more and more over time.
It just seems so degenerate to me that's what's happening in society.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't know, man.
Okay, so here it is. So back in like late February 19th, 20th, in that time range, Cagney Lynn Carter dies. She was age 36. Dies of suicide. And then on March 9th, I see a post that says Sophia Leone passed away at age 26. Another suicide.
Yeah, people are suiciding every day, and it could be fentanyl, it could be a million different things, depression. I wouldn't relate a few porn stars' suicide to their career. A lot of the chicks who do this say they're making fucking great money and they don't have to leave the house, So it is degenerate. I agree with that, but I wouldn't equate a few suicides, because suicides are rampant everywhere right now. Just so happens some of them happen to be porn stars. I wouldn't equate the two together, though.
Well, it doesn't say how Sophia Leone died, but it said that Cagney Lynn Carter died from a gunshot, self-inflicted.
Yeah. Who knows? It could have been a setup. A lot of these, you never know.
True, just like the Boeing guy, right? They said he committed suicide, but that's clear assassination.
Yeah, well, I'm saying a lot of these girls too have some sort of man controlling them, some sort of Bulgarian fucking pimp or something.
Can you hear me?
36, you're getting a little too old for the business. Time for you to go.
My internet just my internet kind of did dump there, but
I hear you fine.
But all right, well, I just wanted to hop on and talk to you guys and just kind of tell Neil my thoughts on this whole situation and how.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, man. It's
before you go. When I had to back off, you mentioned or Rocket, or you mentioned, you think why they fight these wars, and would we have more? Rocket said, would you have more money if you just didn't fight the wars, and you could reduce your taxes in your own country and just self-protect, build your military, strength through, how did Trump do it? What did he call it? He
would it be strength through deterrence, or
the strength through I don't know, just you build the military, you have it, it's ready. It was like when he dropped the Moab bomb in Syria and wiped out a bunch of ISIS, right? And he's like, okay, we just took out fucking a few hundred of them in one bomb, and that's how we do it. We don't need to be over there and then pull the troops out. Okay, well, we got 90% of them. Let's go. But really, when you look at NATO and you see what Trump did with, telling NATO, you countries, Germany, everybody else, you guys need to pay up. Everybody's supposed to be paying 10% of their net.
And that's good for America, but what does that do for me in Canada? Because NATO standard weapons have to meet NATO standard specifications, right?
I'm saying America is paying for freaking 90% of NATO, and all these countries aren't paying their part. They're not.
It's supposed to be like 2% of GDP, but America puts in like what, 4% of GDP or something crazy.
Well, they end up paying for most of NATO is basically what's going on. And Trump is like, yeah, we're not going to be there for you. And then you see all these wars quit. Well, when the military industrial
but you know what I'm trying to say? It's an American military industrial complex enrichment regime.
Exactly.
Well, that's what the politicians are. When they're not fighting wars, these politicians who got all their monies in these defense manufacturing industry and all that, they're not making missiles and guns and tanks and shit. They're losing money. But every time they start,
I'm not an expert on Canada's like weapons exports. I know we do make some weapons, but I'm pretty sure that if we had to really boost our spending on NATO weapons, we'd be buying a lot of them from the States. Like you guys have the war machine down there. You guys have like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Northrop Grumman, all the companies that make all the weapons for all the wars. Like that's what we'd be buying, most of that stuff.
So all these politicians on both sides, they got their monies tied up in that. So when there's no wars, Trump was pissing off everybody because they're like, oh, well, we don't need to build any missiles anymore. We don't need to use the missiles. Well, we get a surplus. Now they got to use the missiles so they can make more. Otherwise, their stock is just standing still. You see?
Yeah, that's the whole reason why they started a war right after they pulled out of Afghanistan. They started the war in Ukraine.
I also heard Biden, we had a full fucking surplus of oil barrels, surplus. And Biden somehow happened overnight, did some sort of deal and sold them to China.
He's been doing that for a long time to suppress oil prices because he wants to get reelected.
And wasn't that the strategic oil?
Yeah, the SPR, the Strategic Petroleum Reserve.
Yeah, there you go. Damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, but you can only drain it to a certain depth. You have to leave a certain amount of oil because I think it gets stored in like a mountain or something.
We had the lowest prices when we had a surplus, and that's economically that makes sense, And I was watching some MSNBC bullshit, and they were talking about how gas prices are actually lower, and they show a graph, but then they show the graph from like Trump's last year of COVID. They don't show the 3 previous years, and it's like, dude, it's so misleading. You have to do your own research to actually find out the real numbers. This one guy on YouTube broke it down, how they were showing all these graphs. They're like, oh, the crime numbers are down. And this dude broke it down, and he's like, well, yeah, because this year, and this year, and since 2020, they showed all the major cities, New York, LA, Cleveland, Chicago, they're not reporting crime statistics anymore.
And I saw that.
And they're actually not even when guys are getting out on no bail, the cops aren't even reporting them to the state government, So it's like, yeah, that's actually not true. And here's why. And they showed even the FBI. One year, the FBI didn't get any of the statistics. So they took that as a whole negative,
Oh, wow.
So they didn't even find an average or anything.
What was the last year the FBI reported their crime statistics? Was that 2019?
No, 2023. They report them. I think 2022, they didn't report any. They just missed one.
But I think that the rule is now with the FBI is they make all these jurisdictions, make it optional for all these other jurisdictions to report the crime statistics to the FBI. And there's all these jurisdictions that have completely opted out from the reporting. Like Duncan was saying, New York City, Miami, even I think
the highest report. Biggest cities, metropolitan cities, are the U.S. From Louisiana to Chicago. I think there was Detroit. I know New York was on there. L.A. was on there.
Yeah, L.A. was on there. Yep, I remember that.
I did. here. You're talking about crime statistics, and you're just going to leave out the major crime centers of the United States.
Yeah, and the drop wasn't even significant. It was only down by like 6% or something, they said.
Yeah.
Which was crazy. So it means that like crime has really risen everywhere else.
Oh.
Where it's still being reported.
It's definitely risen. And like I said, with these sanctuary city laws and stuff where they just catch and release illegals, and they catch them and release them on.
Duncan cut out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Weird.
Yeah,
His connection symbol is perfect. So. What's that?
I love the #1 fragrance icon who follows the teachings of Jesus.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop off here. It's 5:20.
It was nice hearing your voice, and you see through the bullshit too, and that's cool.
Yeah, man.
It's like you're where you've been over in Iraq. It's like this is bullshit. But I just don't like the bullying, and it's just like I'm
for
tired
the plebs,
of it.
man. It's for the plebs.
It's for the plebs.
I know you're tired of it, man. So,
like I said, I'm staying out of it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't like being what's it called? I don't like being ridiculed because I talk to you. You get what I'm saying? Because I don't judge people. It's like, don't fucking judge me for something somebody else done, or like guilty by association. It's like, you know what?
Yeah, that's the stupidest thing.
That far down the fucking road.
Joey just does that for fun, though. I don't think he's serious.
Joey doesn't do that to me. Other people do it to me, and I'm just like, really? If this is what's on your mind, I'm talking to a guy who supposedly did something bad 25 years ago. And you're gonna guilt me by association. I'm like, then
he always cuts out.
I'm saying it. You guilt me by association about something that might have happened 25 years ago with somebody else, and it's like, just get the fuck out of here. Like I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't think about it.
The whole guilty by association thing is bullshit.
I'm saying I don't. Well, I won't let it happen to me because I'm just like, I don't care positive or negative. I just really don't think about it. It's whatever,
Guilty by association is very manipulative,
You shouldn't care because it's the same people that do that to you, Duncan, are the same ones that parrot the same thing towards Neil. And at the end of the day, you probably wouldn't even want to hang out with those people in real life. And you probably don't even think that highly of them anyway. So why the fuck would you care? I wouldn't fucking care.
Listen, I spoke with the other guy, who used to be in the clan, and I said, I forgive you, man, and all this, and I had him on my stream and this, and I said, I forgive you, It's like, so it's like, the whole guilty by association thing is.
Supply and demand thinks we're going after Joey. I don't think any of us are going after Joey.
This is the thing, man. It's supply
and demand is he's one of those people that he's one of those new people that I've noticed that try to stir up the most pointless and ridiculous and stupid imaginary drama.
Nobody's going after Joey.
Mind you, he did tell Joey in the chat that I was going after everyone in the mafia, and that's not true. I wasn't going after everyone.
They take a little truth and then they fib all the rest of the way and turn it into something else.
No, they just take the stream. They take the streams too serious.
Exacerbate something
it's first world problems. It's first world problems, and he whips up the word racist and all the times in the chat. So people like that. Just let him type in the chat. Don't even respond to that stuff. It's just ridiculous and stupid. He's just a little pleb, just who cares?
I don't know. I'll respond. If he's going to act like a lizard person, I'll treat him like one.
Let me tell you, Sticks, I've read your comments about people you don't like in Vaz's chat. I'm like, I don't like them either.
Exactly. And
I'm not even. And they're women. They're women who don't even show their face. So it's like, yeah, they're troublemakers.
I don't have problems with anybody really. I don't give, like I said, I don't give a shit about it enough to like let it really work me up, you know? So, I like to have some conversation, and whether it's about fragrances or
Look in the private chat. Do you know how to look at the private? Look at where it says stream private. Yeah, look.
Or geopolitics. There's a private chat on here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah,
where's private chat?
Yeah.
Just click. There's a private button. There should be a private button somewhere. The upper right hand side.
It's probably on his phone though, so I don't think he.
Oh yeah, if you're on your phone. Yeah, if you're on your phone, no.
Yeah, I see a circle.
Might be the circle.
He clicked the.
Like Supply and Demand, like said he made a comment towards me, but it's like, dude, I don't even know you in real life. Like, do you really think you hurt my feelings? You didn't, because I don't even care about fucking Joey's channel, and I don't fucking care about who is racist and who isn't racist stuff. Like, I don't fucking care, man. Yeah, just don't fucking care. It's like, why? Like, oh, it's so annoying. It's a lot of those people that are in that stream now that act like that, and it's just very just dumb.
The way I see it is I'm more obnoxious than anybody else in that fucking stream. When Joey doesn't have me banned in the chat, I'm calling everyone a fucking lizard person.
Yeah, but you're not being serious about it. People like Supply and Demand, they're like legit being serious, and that's why like I don't have time for that.
Is he though? I don't know if he is. Like it's lowest form of frailty. I that's not based on anything. You know, so I can't take a comment like that seriously. You know,
dude, I don't even, whatever. It's just.
Yeah, it would be a lot better time if people weren't like starting funk over stupid shit. I mean, if there was some real shit, but there's never real shit because it's a stream. You know, there should be
arguments.
Wait.
My arguments aren't no.
The thing
because
is,
my arguments are no.
The other stream is always labeling. That's why they say the P word. They're labeling. They're labeling because they don't want to have a conversation. They just label. The other stream does label. I'm just.
I label everyone a lizard person.
Yeah, but that's like funny, you know. But they label. It's like.
Well, I've gotten a few arguments, and like if I make like definitive points to try to end the argument and like factual stuff, that's when it like Supply and Demand said it turns into name calling. And it's like, well, I'm wrong, so you're a racist. And it's like, that's not how you end an argument. It might work in other places you've been, but that's not going to end the argument with me, you know?
It's never how you win an argument either, because that's like the laziest argument you could make against somebody, right?
You might end an argument because I may just like not want to. I'm just like over it. Like, okay, we've been here, done that. It goes back and forth, and at some point, either somebody's got to give, and I'm just like I'm giving. I'm like I'm done. I'm just like whatever. Like you're not hearing what I say. I'm telling you facts, and you're telling me that I'm wrong, and I know I'm not wrong, and you know it's like, okay, some people, what's it called? You can't fix stupid, you know, and sometimes you gotta just fucking leave it.
Yeah, but you talk about way too much smart shit. Like I don't think most of these people are well read. You actually do take your time and do your due diligence in researching stuff. I remember you were the one that told me about Trump's Mar-a-Lago case where he had to sue the town of Palm Beach, and he accused them of being racist. And I actually found an article about it. Wow,
yeah,
he went
true
to
story.
Great extent. Yeah. He actually, what books did he buy? And he mailed all these books to everybody that was on city council, and it was like a book about racism. And he was like doing all this kind of hilarious trolling shit to piss these people off. And his accusation was they didn't want him to be there to open up a country club because he was going to open up his club to everybody, and that included Cubans, blacks, Jews. He didn't like I guess he didn't like the segregation that was going on in Palm Beach, and he wanted to open up to business to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
how childish is that? There was a club for Jews and a club for whites, and nobody else was allowed. Like, that was ridiculous.
He had to sue to allow people of color to become members.
Yeah. But I remember you were the one that told me that story, and I looked into it later. I was like, holy shit, Duncan was right about all this. Like, it went even crazier than what he even told me.
Oh, did you see the video of this homeless lady who got into Trump Tower, and she went into like this empty room up like on the 7th floor or something, right? And it was just like this empty office room, and she like set up camp in there, and they found her in there, and they were going to kick her out, and they told Donald Trump, and he came down and he talked to her for a while, and she was a little bit mentally off, right? Maybe a little slow. And he realized that she didn't mean any harm, and at the point she made the video, she's like, I've been here 11 years, and every day he makes sure I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow.
He's a good man.
He just let her stay in Trump Tower, and he said,
people that hate Trump are evil.
He said, leave her alone and make sure she has food. And they fed her. She said, I get breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Mr. Trump is a good man. He saved my life. She said, I would be dead if I was on the streets down there.
I could see why some people don't like Trump. Like, the Muslim ban was ridiculous. Like, it's hard. That's very hard to defend.
Well, but there's also a thing with vetting the people who come in from some of these countries. If at some point it becomes difficult and we're still at war with certain countries, and these people are mobile between these Arabic countries that we're technically at war with still, then
but it wasn't legal anyway, and it got overturned, so it wasn't anything that he was capable of doing anyhow. And then he fired Steve Bannon right after that, which kind of told me that Steve was in his ear on that one. And I guess Steve embarrassed him.
Yeah,
but he still went along with it, and he didn't do his due diligence, right?
The biggest problem he had is finding people he could trust to do the job, because he's like getting word and they're saying, okay, this guy is good. And they're like, here, choose from these 3. And he's like, no, I want this guy, someone private from the private sector. I don't want someone who's been in government for 25 years fucking it up. And they're like, well, you can't just hire your friends. And he's like, well, sometimes he can hire his friends and they do good jobs, if you like. Yeah, I think he made a mistake when with Ben Carson, he put into health and human HUD, health and development.
Well, he was a neurosurgeon too, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, see, he should have put Ben Carson in the healthcare chief of the healthcare or whatever, but he put him in
you mean like Surgeon General or
urban he made him the chief of urban development, like what is it? So he made him like the urban development, like inner city development chief or whatever.
And okay. That's a waste of his skills.
Yeah, he should have put him in the healthcare sector and been like, okay, this guy knows so much about healthcare and what should and shouldn't be done. But he put him into urban city development, and it's like, that's a big fucking. But like I said, the thing, Trump made a lot of mistakes, but I always say he's only one man. He's only one man.
And then he also had John Brennan leading the CIA. That guy was a real deep state, total lizard person. John Bolton.
Exactly, but see that deep state goes so fucking deep. You would have to basically
fire everybody,
crush the CIA and the FBI, and start from the ground up.
Well, that's what RFK wants to do.
That's what should be done.
And I think Ramaswamy was saying the same thing. He wanted to cut up those government agencies.
Well, yeah, I mean, because Trump could have done so much more if he didn't have the opposition. If he wasn't spending half his time with Russia bullshit that was started by Hillary and all the deep state and all these people who were behind it, saying it's real and he's the Russian plan, and all that deep state bullshit. Every person who was behind that should be behind bars, because what they did is actually treasonous. Actually, the offense of treason is punishable by hanging. So.
Yep.
So we've got this guy who flat out lied to Congress, pencil neck.
Fauci?
No, this guy.
Because he did too. He lied about the gain of function.
Fuck, I forgot his name. But there was Hillary to begin with. Alan, what's his name? God, he's running for Congress in California. Anyhow, he lied to Congress. There are a lot of these people. What they did was treasonous. They flat out lied to Congress. They didn't even plead the fifth like Hillary. A no answer, and no answer is an answer, in my opinion.
Are you referring to the Steele dossier?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
Yeah, and everybody involved with that who flat out lied in front of Congress, they should be hung. And what's his name is who I was talking about. I can't remember his name. He's still running for Congress in California, representative. But they should be facing some sort of legal.
It's funny how it never happens though. Like even Fauci, he lied to Congress about.
No, it only happens to conservatives or Republicans. It doesn't happen to Democrats, and that's why we say there's a two-sided. This is why the only 5 or 6 Republicans are saying this is a two-tiered system you have. You're not doing anything. We have actual proof against Biden with his ties in Romania and all the oil company and his son and all that. We have actual proof. We have him on video
peddling influence. Hunter saying that my father's right beside me. He better do the deal now, kind of thing.
Well, no. There was also a video where Biden's on public television. He's like, I told that prosecutor, if you don't drop the thing, we're not giving your country $1 billion. He's leveraging our tax dollars to make money for himself, and he's on public video saying that. This is on national news. It's all recorded. So. Yep. And like they flat out said to the FBI director, Ray, is this not, it sounds to me like a shakedown. How do you see it? And then the director, Ray, he's like, well, we're not going to comment on that because it's still ongoing. But what they did is they kept the Hunter Biden investigation going so long that the what is it called? The amenities clause, however long that happened during the time that they had to actually prosecute or do something, ran out. So they actually couldn't do nothing. They pussyfooted around it for so long that the time ran out to actually prosecute.
It's greasy, but he's also so old. Do you really want to punish a guy who's like?
No, it's not about Biden. It's about the whole government. When the director of the FBI sat on it for so long, it shows you there's a two-tiered system, and that's more proof than you need. When they spent 4 years going after Trump over the Russia dossier, which turned out to be a big freaking false thing, wasting so much money and time, government dollars, and also Trump's time, when he could have been actually doing fucking great things if he wasn't dealing with all the bullshit, which was proved to be fake, and so they spent 4 years going at him tirelessly, over nothing that they knew was nothing, where they got everything, all the evidence they need against Biden, and they're doing nothing at all. Do you see what I'm saying? It's proof of a two-tiered system. So if there's a deep state, what side they're on. The lizard people side.
I kind of feel like they're all deep state. Like even George W. Bush, he must have committed some criminal acts to invade Iraq, but they never went after him. Because he's deep state too, isn't he?
Listen, I don't know one Republican or person who was in the military who has a good thing to say about George Bush, or the senior or junior.
But the point being is that there's people in the deep state on both sides that protect each other, right? And Trump is just basically not deep state, so they don't do him any favors. But the rest of them, they all go to the same universities, same fraternities, same secret societies, Skull and Bones, you know.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they'll bail each other out.
Lindsey Graham.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Wow, that's deep state. Holy shit, he's the biggest warmonger there is. Who votes for a guy like that? That he's a real piece of. Some of the stuff he says is just insane.
Well, that goes back to what I said. There's only like 5 or 6 real conservatives who are actually going against the government and saying this is what you need to do, and they have too much opposition now. And if anybody can change the government around, it's going to be Trump, because nobody else will do it. I mean, they found out DeSantis is freaking pay for play, fucking, overseas business holdings, doing all this other fucking bullshit. So he went from like one of the hardcore conservative guys to he kind of got, he got thrown down the road. They know now. They're like, no, he's a rhino just like the rest of them. He does good things for Florida. So they said, hey, you know what? Florida says we'll keep him, but we're going Trump for president,
Well, and he sucked at campaigning. He did not do a good job. I think he thought maybe that Trump was going to get arrested and go to jail and that he wouldn't even have to try. Is maybe what his position was. Because he wasn't going to any of the podcasts or anything that I watched. Like, he never appeared on like, even Patrick Bet David at one point from Valuetainment said, like, that's you get a hold of his like campaign committee, and like nobody phones you back. You leave a message with them, nobody calls you back. And he was saying, I can get a hold of Trump and get a call back from Trump in a snap of my fingers. I could call RFK's people and get RFK to call me in an instant, but I can't get what's his name on the phone. And then he went in a like a camp. He went to go help the campaign on something in Florida. Because, well, I guess he lives in Florida anyway, but he went to go help DeSantis with something. And he even told their campaign, you guys are running this all wrong. Like, you don't know what you're doing. You're not putting his face out there, and you're making critical errors, and like, he's invisible to the public as a president.
Yeah,
and they never took any of his advice.
That Vivek Ramaswamy, he says some good things, but he's flip-flopped a few times. And it seems like he's saying what he just wants the crowd to hear.
I don't think so.
I like his words, but I don't like how he got his money. He took a defunct cancer drug that failed clinical trials. He bought it, like bought the patent for it or whatever. Yeah. And then he ran clinical trials on it again and pretended like it was going to. He was basically telling investors that he thought it was going to pass. And then he unloaded a bunch of shares. It failed clinical trials, and then they dumped a drug, and he got rich in the process. So I don't like how he made his money there. It seems like maybe irresponsible or illegitimate to some degree, but I do like everything he says.
Yeah, but it's kind of like, he reminds me of the Bill Maher of politics. Bill Maher is notorious for being like a straight up liberal fucktard, but every now and then he flips and he says something conservative. But it just seems like the moment, it depends on the crowd he's speaking to, where he's at, and what he's talking about. He's always going to say the right thing, and I don't trust anybody who always says the right thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they did a play-by-play where Ramaswamy said that, it was like a paragraph. It was like 25 lines. And he said the exact same words as Obama, 25 lines, word for word. It's like he just stole it out of Obama's campaign from 2008 or whatever.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, you can look it up on YouTube. It's fucking nuts.
Obama was a good public speaker, though.
Yeah, he was. And he could have been a much better president.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, he was the first American president to murder an American. He was the one that signed the order to bomb that one American overseas and kill him.
Oh, he killed a lot more than that. With Fast and Furious, they sold freaking 400,000 AKs to the cartel. They're like, oh, we're gonna do this so we could find out who the cartel's killing, or something.
What?
They had some. Yeah, look up Fast and Furious. It's some stupid reason with Eric Holder. Him and Eric Holder was some stupid reason they had behind it, and they sold like 400,000 guns to the cartel.
That's
That
insane.
That was like in his first couple of years.
Yeah, he did some weird stuff.
Yeah, well, when you want to talk about corruption, I always mention Obama came in office worth $400,000 net worth. He left the presidency worth $43 billion or $43 million.
But a lot of that money came from the book that his wife wrote, right?
I ain't never heard of nobody making 43 million off a book. Nobody makes that type of money off books nowadays.
I don't know. He seems scummy enough, though. I didn't like him. I know a lot of people didn't, and he created a lot of division in the country when he was president.
Yeah.
Which is too bad, but you know, the two presidents before him weren't any good either. Like Bush and Clinton were just, Clinton was the worst. Still is. He's probably the worst president of all time. Like there's no doubt in my mind that he's a total full-fledged pedophile.
I'm pretty sure he's pretty soon though. He's like looking horrible. He's got sores on his face and shit. Hillary too. When she was campaigning, she was passing out, slurring her words and shit. They wouldn't do good speeches. I mean, when they were doing their campaign speeches and national debates, I mean, Trump fucking slaughtered everybody, and they're saying Biden won't even debate with them because, I mean, obviously you know how that
he can't. He doesn't have the mental faculties to.
Yeah, I mean, so they won't even let Biden do a national debate. No Democrat could do. I mean, our vice president Kamala Harris couldn't debate with Trump. She's an idiot too. She's running as a black. She's running as a black woman. She's Indian, and her dad is Dominican, and her mom is Indian and white, I think. But she runs as like the first African American woman. You know, it's like, come on.
How lazy are the Democrats to pick her as the vice president, though? That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, like the funny thing, nobody liked her before or now. Like nobody likes her still. It doesn't matter her color. She's just so cringy, and she's a horrible public speaker too.
Well, I've heard that she's an alcoholic, and that's why she's so bad at speaking and
slurs
all over words and everything.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard anyway. That she's just a complete drunk. Like she's often drunk on camera.
Kind of sounds like an alcoholic.
Yeah, and she does sound like an alcoholic.
I would know. Yeah.
That's also why they try to keep her out of the spotlight, because like sometimes she's probably just totally wasted, right?
Oh, you should have seen. She was like in Cuba, and she came out the Cuban. I think it was Cuba, or it was either Dominican Republican or the Cuban embassy, and they were all out there protesting against her, right? And they were singing the song against her, and she came out and she started clapping and dancing. And they started singing louder, and she just started clapping and dancing. And then, like, oh, you gotta look it up. They were making fun of her, and she was just like joining it all along. And then one of the Cubans came in and said, "Hey, you need to stop. They're protesting against you."
Are you sure it wasn't the Haitians?
It could have been. Look it up. It's funny. It's like Kamala Harris dances to her own protest.
You heard about that barbecue guy in Haiti that they're calling a cannibal, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You've seen the headlines for that? Turns out that's totally not true.
Oh yeah.
He got the name barbecue because I guess Jimmy's a popular name.
Well, I don't know. They said that he has killed a lot of people though, and that he just burns the bodies.
It could be true, but because he's a leader of a gang, right? But now all those gangs have aligned to exile the government that was in place. A non-democratic democratically elected government. It was just forced on them, right, by the U.S., Canada, and France.
Wow.
But they're saying in the media that he's a cannibal, which is completely untrue. Turns out he got the name barbecue because his mom used to be a street vendor, and she used
Oh,
to sell grilled meats. So they
okay.
called him Jimmy Barbecue. That was his nickname because there's like when you got a few friends named Jimmy, you got to distinguish them, right, from each other.
Well, they did show some of these soldiers just picking meat off fucking some of those burning bodies and eating it, though.
Yeah, I don't know
seen
what that was about. It could have been like a rogue faction or something. There's also like he claims in his gang, and I can't remember the name of it. It's got some French name. It's like Viv Alsom or something. Vive Alsom. They call their like unified alliance of gangs.
Yeah.
Like he flat out says we do not endorse kidnappings. Kidnappings are not allowed.
Yeah, they'll
It's
before
but
they.
there's other gangs in Haiti that still kidnap people, right?
Yeah,
So
but they'll kill somebody before they kidnap them. What's the point of kidnapping somebody who ain't got no money?
well, the thing is they try to kidnap like Americans and stuff. So there's this one American that got kidnapped recently, and the U.S. State Department did nothing to reach out to Barbecue to get this person back in U.S. custody. But
Yeah.
some no-name reporter named Dan Cohen messaged Barbecue on WhatsApp and said, "Hey, we have an American that's kidnapped in Haiti. Is there something you can do?" He goes, "I'll reach out to everybody." So he reached out to everyone in the gang on WhatsApp, and everyone agreed, yeah, kidnapping is not what we're doing. We're not involved in that. We're just trying to take back the government, right? And I guess through his contacts, it eventually got to the gang that did kidnap him, and they're like, "Oh, we better let him go. We don't want to upset the alliance because they'll kill us." So they let the American kid go.
It's always the no-name guys who ever get shit done, you know?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but I was like, wow, like the media, it's the CIA that just spins it, eh? They make up these stories because apparently they were trying to get the president, Ariel Henry, back in power. They sent him to Kenya to pick up a bunch of Kenyan mercenaries to try to take the country back. Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah.
when the regime found out, the alliance found out about it, they stormed the airport and prevented the plane from landing. Like they attacked the
Yeah, I
airport in
want a
Port-au-Prince.
warlord. I mean, Africa's full of warlords, you know, doing bad shit to their own countries. But then they get presidents who aren't much better. I don't know. I don't have the answer to these third world countries and shit.
I don't have the answer either because now the country is being led by a leader of like a gang alliance of violent criminals, right?
Yeah.
But the point being is that the cannibal thing was just made up, and it's kind of fucked up that the lies that the deep state tell, or I should say the CIA, are just so ridiculous. Like first it was Biden accused Putin of blowing up his own pipeline, right? And like we were supposed to believe that, like that's insane. And then they tell us that it was ISIS that committed those acts of terror in Moscow. Completely not true. Russia found him running back to the Ukraine border, right? And there was
What do you know about Germany having an energy crisis?
I don't know much about it.
It was big a couple of years ago. They were talking about it, and Germans were talking about, you know, their bills would be so high they wouldn't be able to afford their rent if they paid their energy bills.
Well, that's because
during the
they
winter.
cut themselves off from Russian natural gas, right? To the Ukraine war. It's like the Western Alliance said that we're going to boycott anything from Russia. So that heavily impacted Germany. But I think their political system is going back to how it used to be, where they're wanting to reestablish relations with Russia, because their military got in trouble recently for talking about taking actions against Russia. And I guess Russian intelligence got the information. Like they had recorded the conversation.
Russia's like a cat, like playing with the mouse right now.
Pretty much.
They don't want to see that cat turn into a freaking tiger and fucking get really pissed off, you know?
Yeah. Well, they got they managed. I'm assuming it was Russia that did it because it got back to the politicians in Germany, and I guess they chewed out the Russian military command No, sorry, not Russian. German military command.
Yeah, it's like Poland's on their border, so they don't want to really. I mean, they could end it, like they could just blow the shit out of it, but they don't want to because these are Russian people. They know that. And then you see the videos of the Polish military? They have like a guy with Down syndrome out there, and even another soldier was filming him. Was like, "We're running out of people. Look who we got." This dude was like sucking on his finger, and he's like, "Oh, hey."
You mean the Ukrainians, not the Poles, right? The Ukrainians are the ones that are sending people against Russia. Yeah, they've resort like their conscription. The way they conscript people there too is they just straight up kidnap them. Like if you're a man of fighting age, they'll just grab you and throw you into a van and take you away, and throw you on the front lines, and then you die with very little training. It's tragic.
Yeah, it's not a winning resolution.
No, it's a whole generation of people that have been either pushed out of the country or murdered, basically, in war. Yeah, it's tragedy. I don't know why. I don't know why the West ever thought they could get Ukraine to ever beat Russia in a war, considering how small they are. Like Ukrainian occupied territory only has a population of 36 million people. Russia's got a population of over 140 million. It's like 144 million. Like it's a numbers game at some point, right? And if the Russians want to push hard enough, they'll just.
I bet Russia has more people than that.
Well, that's the statistics that I see when I pull it up on searching Google and shit. But yeah, you could be right. It could be more. But either way, they significantly outnumber them. There's no. And like Russia's got hypersonic missiles, right? So like Russia can take out the missile defense systems that Ukraine has.
If it came to Germany, they'd be using that shit on Germany, but they don't want to fuck their border countries where they have Russian people and Russian speaking people who really don't want to be involved in this shit. They're not going to wipe those countries out. Where if Germany gets involved, it's like, really? You're going to really want to poke the bear? Because there was, I think Putin in his interview with Carlson I think he mentioned something about, or maybe it was something else I read, that they were talking about joining the EU. And
no, it wasn't the EU. He said NATO. He said he asked Clinton if he could join NATO.
Yeah, and they were like, no, we were formed to fight you guys, And it's like, well, times change, things change. This isn't 1992.
Putin said in the interview that he asked, I think it was Clinton, if he could join NATO. Clinton said, "I'll look into it for you, but I don't see why not." And then a few months later, Clinton never got back to him. It may have been Bush. I can't remember, to be honest. But whoever it was, whatever president was, got back. He said I guess their ambassadors reached out to the president again, and then he eventually spoke with the president again. And what the president said was, I'm sorry, I looked into it. I asked around. They said no. Like NATO. And then Putin went on to say it's because the NATO alliance only exists to have Russia as an enemy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, without the U.S., NATO would be worthless, right? So, why not disband NATO? And I think that's something that a lot of world leaders are just like, why they don't want Trump, because Trump's already talked about it. He's like, you know what? If we're out, you guys ain't nothing. You ain't nothing without us. And why are we paying for everything to protect your countries and your little involvements here and there, So it's like, really disband NATO and let's see what happens to Europe. Let Europe blow themselves up.
I think Europe would be fine, to be honest.
Europe would be fine, yes.
I
was part of NATO. Trust me. They would be fine.
I highly doubt that.
Who would attack them? Who?
You'd have Turks invading Germany.
But they already are. I mean, let's be honest. It's like dude. Have you seen pictures of London? Some video of London?
Well, yeah, the EU multiculturalized everything, but if you
Yeah,
want to
so it's like they don't even have to fight a war. They don't even have to fight a war. They've already taken over.
No, they would take over. World War II, it would be fucking World War II all over. If there was no NATO to get involved in anything, you think they'd be fine? I don't think so. I
Well,
don't think so.
alliances would have to be redrawn, right? Like obviously, the close European countries would have to start their own military alliance together.
And
they would probably have a lower target for NATO, like maybe 1.5% of GDP or 1% instead of 2%.
So think about how North Africa was invading Italy, and they were asking for help from NATO, and NATO did nothing because it was the UN bringing the migrants in through Italy into Europe, into mainland Europe, and they were using Italy to do it. And Italy was saying, "We need help." They're asking they're asking the UE, or I mean not the UN. What is it? The EU, European Union. They're asking the European Union, and they're asking NATO. We need help, but it's the European Union bringing them in. So NATO turned their back on Italy. So the EU, to say that the EU and NATO aren't aligned and that they'll all get along, that's fucking bullshit. You'd have Italians fucking fighting next door with fucking Greece or Nepal, whatever. Not Nepal, but no, I don't. I think we should disband it and let NATO see what happens. See what happens. If nothing would happen and they'd all be fine, then why not disband NATO anyways?
I just don't think they're ever going to increase the military spending to what Trump wants. Like Trump wants what's in the deal. The deal is 2%. Well, these countries have never done 2%. They don't have they don't have the money to budget that way, obviously, right?
I do think though, like with the UK, I think you look at London, how it's already all integrated. Then they just send the military in and say, "Hey, we're just going to take over and just give us the country. You're like going to be our slaves or whatever." I mean, it's true. The Arabs were the slaveholders back in the days.
But slaves to who?
To the Arabs is what Neil.
No, I'm saying like the British will be slaves to the
Arabs,
to the Arabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been like that before, where the Arabs were slaveholders.
History repeating itself.
Yeah, that's all it is, and it's going to be this. It's different. But now it's okay because like white people are slaves.
A lot of Europeans aren't armed. A lot of Europe isn't armed.
Yeah, and that's
the people who still have guns are the farmers who live in the country and stuff.
Yep.
And they'll be the first to go. And then they won't have food because the people who will take it over won't know how to farm the land. The same thing happened in South Africa. They'll fuck it up. They won't be farming the land. They'll let it go to shit, and they won't have.
That's exactly
food.
what happened. And then We Are the World. That had a lot to do with giving the farming for South Africa, and then the Australians came in there, and then Mugabe's like, kill all the white farmers. They think it can't happen. They like when I hear Montrese say this, I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. You're talking about something 200 years ago. It could turn on a dime, and I don't feel guilty because it could all turn on a dime.
If that shit happened, that's why I'm saying Europe will not be fine. Europe will not be fine.
No, because they're unarmed.
They it would go from country to country until there would be a whole fucking shit show. It'd be like all of Europe would be like the Middle East.
Yeah.
Well, the UK would still have the Commonwealth countries defending it, right? Like Australia, Canada, we're all Commonwealth still. Technically speaking, every bill that gets signed into law in our country is done so by a representative of the King of England. So we have a Governor General that is appointed by the King or the Queen. Well, may have been appointed by Queen Elizabeth during the time. And that Governor General signs every bill into law as a direct representative of the King. We're still a constitutional monarchy. It's also the reason why we got into World War II before you guys did. because we had to defend the UK.
Okay.
So the UK would still have the countries they control, right? Like
US
on paper, by law, the king is still the king of Canada, right? Like King Charles.
The U.S. didn't get involved till Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah. And that was, some say that was like, that was kind of planned to be that way because they deliberately upset the Japanese by not giving them the oil they need to run their economy. And the Japanese retaliated with Pearl Harbor.
Everything's retaliation. It's like, and then that's what Germany did from the Treaty of Versailles. Everything is retaliation. Like you see somebody messes with somebody, like I'm saying with RXL, they say, "Oh, RXL's gonna win." No, he ain't gonna win. He started it. I'm gonna finish it. You know, I mean, that's how and that's how revenge happens. Like action, reaction. Repercussions. Yeah. I'm like, you know, so that's.
So you're saying you're like Rocky. You're gonna get him in part 2.
No, exactly. There's always action reaction. You know, always action reaction. It's like the way the world works.
I don't think you should be fighting with RXL.
No, it's not going to be fighting. It's going to be money.
I got a text from my friend a few minutes ago. Last night I sent him that video of Montrese freaking out.
Yeah.
And I guess he just woke up. And he goes, Montrese was triggered, laughing my ass off. I could tell you were in troll mode because you were talking about scaring the ducks.
Dude, Sweet Milk needs to make scaring the ducks, what do you call it? The handle where you can post something and says scaring the ducks.
I don't know.
What a stupid joke, though. I'm like, Montrese, I already know you have a duck pond with a bunch of ducks. And the best garden in town. And
yeah, dude, it was master trolling.
Like people think or say that I know who people are, like burners or whatever, and I don't. I really don't. I don't know.
No,
I might have it, but I'm guessing just the same as like most people, and I like it that way. I don't want to know who anybody is. Like people are like, "Oh, who's this? Who's it?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't fucking care to know. I'd rather not know. Just leave me out of it. I'm not tech savvy. I'm not making videos. You know,
well, lucky for you, most of the burners are all Mohicans, right? Like
a lot of them, yeah.
Like almost all of them. Like I don't think he's Angry Dan, but he's definitely like Mr. Midnight and Sigourney Weaver and the Sexorcist.
I wonder if Dan watches. I think Dan watches.
Yeah, I mean,
he likes the live streams.
Yeah, Joel's cool.
Yeah, he's funny. He's quick with it too. I don't know how he does it. He must have like multiple browsers open, all logged in, and then he just keeps switching in between them and typing different stuff.
I don't know. I think
guys, I'm gonna go to sleep, man. I'm getting tired, man. 7 o'clock already.
Yeah, I should go to bed too. I gotta work.
All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Okay, good night, guys.
Good night, Rocket.